8.3 FM. My name is still Tunde Young. I'm still here with Juwon and of course Sweet Yemi. Speaking of Sweet Yemi, can you do what you came here to do? which is talk to us about
that's so somehow. I came here to talk sports and like I've been talking sports since morning. So well, Denmark has a chance. So let's see if they are going to be able to. Well, that led to nothing. This game is going to end in a goalless draw. But yes, sir. What exactly am I here to do? Say it now.
Okay, don't worry. I'll say 80 minutes into the Denmark game, Penilada still looking for a way past the Chinese defense and still nothing given. But now let's pivot into the world of Formula One, which is what Yemi specializes in.
Oh, well. Thank you very much for the very, very warm speech. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, yes, good afternoon to everybody. Yes, it's Formula One weekend. Last weekend there was no Formula One race, but this week we are resuming at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix, which was announced that's going to be on the calendar till 2032. So for anybody who's whereby that is their favorite circuit, they're going to be seeing it on the F1 calendar for a lot more years to come. That's like 9 years, I think. 9 years, 2032. Is that 9 years?
2032, yeah, 9 years.
That seems like, but then it's going to happen. But yes. So right now, we've done the first, all 3 practice sessions. Very, very mixed results. Charles Leclerc topped the timesheets in the second practice. Lando Norris was also doing very well. Third practice, Lewis Hamilton surprisingly on top of the timesheet ahead of Verstappen and Perez and Leclerc. And sorry, I was distracted by what was on screen. So yes, this we're going to have qualifying very, very soon. And for the qualifying, to be honest, I'm not really expecting anything different other than Max Verstappen taking pole. Sergio Perez, if he does not, because Sergio Perez for the last 5 races has not really been impressive in qualifying. He has been crashing out in Q1 and Q2, which is very disappointing if you are in a Red Bull car, which is unarguably the fastest car on the circuit on the grid. No other car is coming closer to this. Red Bull and others this season. So for you to be driving the Red Bull and then not be doing as well as you should be doing in qualifying, if someone manages to make up the spots in racing, but then it's very, very good to have a very good qualifying start. When you do well in qualifying, you have a better chance of winning the race or at least getting on the podium. So he's going to try to minimize those incidences and maybe try to make it to Q3 today. For FP1, he crashed out of FP1, did not make any sense. Crashed out of FP1, just quite disappointing for me. Has been qualifying practice sessions for the past 5 races has been quite disappointing. So we will look to do better this time around, especially with the fact that Daniel Ricciardo is back at AlphaTauri, and there's been talk that Daniel Ricciardo is probably going to replace him at Red Bull as the second driver, which is not something anybody wants to hear. It's not what any driver wants to hear. So he has to somehow up his race. He has up his game. He has been. Sergio Perez in his own. He has won 2 races. He won Azerbaijan. He won Monaco. Yeah, he won both races. So it's not that he has had a terrible season so far. It's just that he has been unimpressive for the past few races. The major talking point today has to be Daniel Ricciardo returning to racing after a few months absence. It's not up to a year because he was just released from his McLaren contract last year. So I'm curious to see how we're doing in AlphaTauri. To be honest, AlphaTauri is not, as I said, I mentioned last week, AlphaTauri is not a team where you expect to go and do magic. He's not going to all of a sudden get behind that AlphaTauri car and then start winning races or start finishing on podiums or start getting top 10. He just has to not play badly. He has to play. I said play. He has to not race badly. He has to race to a certain standard. At least everybody will expect him to outperform Yuki Tsunoda, because there's no way Yuki Tsunoda should be performing better than Daniel Ricciardo in an AlphaTauri. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do in qualifying today, and just to see how qualifying will wrap up. Will turn out rather. Qualifying is going to start in the next. I think less than. In the next 19 minutes, so maybe after qualifying, I'll come and give updates to what the starting grid for tomorrow's race and whatnot. But if I want to make a prediction, let me just trade that on the fact for the starting lineup for starting grid, the grid lineup for tomorrow. I'm going to say Max Verstappen, maybe Charles Leclerc. I don't know how that's going to happen, but maybe Ferrari will surprise us since they've been so disappointing this past few races. And then maybe judging by the fact that Lewis Hamilton was able to do something in qualifying in FP3, maybe is going to be third. So the rest of the grid, I don't know. I just know that Logan Sargent is going to be 20th tomorrow on the grid by the time they start. That's all I know. That one I'm very certain of it.
Wow.
So I'm certain of the first and the last. Max Verstappen in pole position, Logan Sargent in 20th position.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. Let's see how that goes. But thank you very much for Formula One updates. And before we let you go, come on, can you what caught your eye this week? Let's go around the route. Oduajo joins us in the studio, by the way.
In sports?
Yeah.
Oh yes, what caught my eye this week? I think more last night. Can I just a sporting event that caught my eye this week? Or caught my interest. A sporting story. It has to be PSG putting Kylian Mbappe off for sale and putting him out of their preseason team. I said I'm very, very excited to talk about this because I saw the situation and I was quite expressive on what I thought about it on Twitter. I honestly did not feel any sympathy for PSG. I'm happy that they're in this situation. I'm very happy for them because as a team, I don't want to know, as a team, as a football team, you should not have to bend over backwards for just one player. Yes, Kylian Mbappe is a world-class player. At his young age, he has won the World Cup. A very good player. Nobody is going to. I'm not even going to. I like Mbappe. I'm an Mbappe fan. I think he's a fabulous player. But that does not mean that you have to do all that. How many things they do? Can you please? I know they basically made him the part-time owner of PSG. Yeah, they're not giving you, maybe actually giving you official control of the club. He had so much power, and at the end of the day, you gave him all that just for him to sign a 2-year contract and a 1-year. What?
That's what the player was going to take. They didn't want to lose him for free, even though Real Madrid in the summer of 2022 were willing to pay over 100 million for Mbappe.
They should have. They should have taken it because this is not going to end nicely for anybody, especially PSG. But good for them, to be honest. For them.
I say in hindsight because at the time, this is the reasoning. They were able to convince him to sign a new deal. It was a 2+1 deal, so they were hoping that you would have reason to take the third deal.
They were thinking they were winning the Champions League.
And they had already had a year of Messi. They didn't want to waste the last year. They had Messi on a 2-year contract. The first year was underwhelming, so they were hoping that the second year
it was better. Yeah, the second year was actually better.
It was actually better. So they were hoping that that they would have won something worthwhile to keep him made significant progress and to keep him interested in the project.
He did not win the Champions League, which I know that done it with a front three of Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, and then a back thing that nobody. Can you tell me, aside from maybe that comes to my mind when you think of PSG, you can mention this?
I mean, they have Marquinhos at the back.
Marquinhos.
They had Sergio Ramos, even though he was 200 years old.
Yes.
Kimpembe. The point is that
you cannot win Champions. Yeah, you cannot win Champions League. So the fact that they even thought that maybe if you have Mbappe, we can win the Champions League. I mean, I don't know what was going through their mind for that one. But seeing the updates, seeing the way the old drama has been playing out this past, even before yesterday's updates, that PSG were threatening him that going to. It was the old drama was crazy, so unnecessary. So for PSG, to be honest, no. I'm trying to find it in my heart to feel a little bit bad. I can't. I'm sorry. So you did this to yourself.
Mbappe is the one that stood out for you.
Mbappe is one of the ones that stood out for me. Also Brighton. The Super Falcons. Yes. You can talk now.
No, I was asking you a question.
Sorry, I have to say I missed that game, to be honest. I did not watch that game. I was not feeling
getting
great.
a draw. I felt that should have been top of your list this week. I mean, no one.
Yeah, quite impressive, to be honest. The reason why I mostly picked the Mbappe story was because I was raring to talk about it today on the show. But yeah, for the Super Falcons, quite impressive because considering the fact the old drama ahead of the World Cup, everything, the mudslinging from the NFF and the World Drum, everything, the old story about the players, they were on strike or something of that sort before they came out to say
they planned
strike before
even though they eventually
and maybe had to clear that no, it was not happening. So for the fact that they were able to do that and get a draw against Canada. I mean, Canada, they won the Olympics last year. Everybody would have expected sort of a whitewash of Nigeria's Super Falcons. But to be honest, our Super Falcons are quite resolute. You can say that the coach is not really the best or is not bringing out the best in the team. But if there's one thing that they've shown time and time again, even showing at last year's WAFCON, is that they are very, very resolute. And somebody has scored, and Denmark has scored.
Denmark have just
in the last minutes.
89 minutes of play. Denmark have just opened the scoring against China.
So
we told you earlier that there was no goalless game today,
and Denmark continued on that part.
So we'll bring you more details about the goal scorer and how the goal was scored. But it appears that the Danish number 9 that is celebrating along with the captain Pelini Ada number 10. So we'll figure that out as soon as possible. But what you need to know right now is that Denmark
is leading China by 1 goal. Oh, it's came from a corner.
It was from a corner kick, and it looks like there might be offside somewhere in there. That looks offside.
I think that's offside.
I think that's offside actually, even though she didn't touch the ball. But she was coming back from an offside position. I actually went for the ball and contested it with the goalkeeper. So yeah, let's see if VAR will get involved. But I think the goalkeeper saves that without the player there, and the player there was offside. The Danish number 4 right there being offside, while the original header was from the number 9. We will let's see if VAR intervenes. I expect them to, and it looks like they have.
I think it's under review right now.
I think it's under review, and I think that goal should rightly be disallowed because
I don't think it is.
I think
It's been given. The goal has been given.
wow, shocked. I'm shocked. So I want to see that line. They should draw that line and let me see if she was not offside. Because it looked like she was offside to me. So let's see how that goes. And Denmark are in front against China.
That's a really good one, George. Going by the fact that Denmark, they've not been at the World Cup since 2007.
16 years, yes.
But they had a very good run in their qualifying series. They considered the least amount of, I think, about 2 or 3 goals in their qualifying series. But they've been absent from the World Cup since 2007. So it will be a very, very good one, knowing fully well they still have to play England, who are superpowers in women's
Haiti.
football. So it will be a massive one for them to get, because I know coming into this game, they were not favorites. The Chinese, they've been at the World Cup back to back.
They're Asian champions as well.
They are the Asian champions as well. So you expect the Chinese to be getting this done. But if they can just get these 3 points, it's a big one for them.
I think they've got, because China have been
trying to
trying.
be a big one for them.
It's very nice to see how the game. The fact that the goal came off a corner, it just tells you an idea of how difficult it has been for either team to find the back of the net.
Yeah,
So,
Amalie Vansgaard is the player that scored the number 9 with the header from a deep position actually, and I don't think that ball goes in without the intervention of Ricky Saveki,
because he was blocking the goalkeeper.
Actively contesting the ball, and she missed it, and the goalkeeper missed it as well. So I'm guessing what they're saying is that she was not in an offside position, so because she clearly interfered with play. So it really makes sense if she was not.
This
in an offside
reminds me of an incident Manchester United last season.
Rashford.
Bruno Fernandes incident. So I think that was reviewed then, and then the referee said it's always down to the opinion of the referee. So the referee has a choice to.
But at least in that one we were clear that Rashford was before Bruno came to score that ball. But in this one we've seen us.
No, but Rashford was interfering
with play from an offside position. That's the same thing here.
That's the same situation.
What we don't know is if Seveka was actually offside, because they've not shown.
I don't think they even acted like that happened. I think they just made it. Just swiped it on out.
As a consequence, Denmark are joint top of Group D alongside England. Both teams won 3. Denmark have not won yet. There's still about 3 minutes to play in this game.
It looks like this is not a game with many goals, to be honest.
And this is probably the only game that doesn't have a penalty so far in this World Cup. This is the only game. Almost every game I've had a penalty. Nigeria game there was a penalty. That's Zambia.
The US game, the Zambia game,
there was a penalty as well. So I think this is probably the only game.
The England game, even England scored with a penalty.
Yes, they scored with a penalty as well earlier on. So probably it has not ended, but it's probably going to end without the penalty today.
Now that I think of it, Japan had the penalty. I don't think the Spain game had the penalty. I don't think Spain.
Okay, probably. That's I said probably, because it looks like almost every game has had a penalty.
Was there a penalty in Spain, Costa Rica?
So far.
There was, but it was missed.
Same thing.
A
penalty was given. So this is the World Cup of penalties.
Wow, that's an interesting.
Very interesting stats.
Because now that
this is only this game that does not have a penalty.
No, the first game had a penalty that was missed.
It was missed as well. Yes.
New Zealand missed the penalty. The second game was Australia. They won via the only goal was the penalty. The third game was Nigeria. They missed the penalty. Christy Sinclair missed the penalty in that one. That's a
very interesting
observation.
Nigeria's got
Switzerland opened the scoring against Philippines with a penalty.
Of course.
Spain, Costa Rica, there was a penalty which Jenny Emoso missed, like we mentioned. And then today, USA Alex Morgan missed the penalty against Vietnam. Zambia, Japan had a penalty which was converted. England won their.
Oh my God!
China almost equal.
Almost. I thought that one was in. I honestly thought that was
an
in.
offside call in there as well. So yeah, and England won with the penalty from Georgia Stanway. So if this game stays the way it is, it will be the first game to not have
without the penalty.
Without the penalty in the FIFA Men's World, which is impressive. Wow.
Very nice. Thank you for bringing it to our notice.
That's incredible. 8 games in. So it's the 8th game that will not have a penalty after seven straight games of penalties. Yeah, but still continuing with the updates. Almost 5 minutes into additional time, 6 minutes was added onto the time of play between Denmark and China. Don't forget, or let me inform you that we are streaming Saturday Sports Cruise. We are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. That sprung that one on me. But we are streaming, and I can already see a YouTube comment here. Keep them coming, and stay with us till 5. If you can, for everybody, stay with us till 5. But yeah, so we're still following the game between Denmark and China. I will get to Jibola. I'll get to Juwon and Odunayo on their highlights of the week so far. I think we already know what Odunayo also is, but
I was commenting on before.
We'll let her do that by herself. At the HBF Park Arena in Perth, Australia, Denmark still lead 1-0 against China as we count down to the final whistle. About 15 seconds left, so count down, see if the referee will blow right on that on the 6-minute mark. It looks like Denmark are going to secure an important win, because this, like you said, this was going to be the battle for second place between these two teams. We expect that England will take first place in Group D, and Denmark and China will have to slug it out for number 2. So the fact that Denmark have taken this game against China is a significant step in the right direction for them, as the Chinese go forward for one last attempt. Will the referee allow them? But we are still waiting for that final whistle, and it has still not come yet. So we play on. Interesting. I thought the referee would blow. 21 minutes past, 21 seconds past 6 minutes. We are still waiting for the final whistle in that one, but it looks like Denmark have sealed the victory against China. So in that note, let's move on to Juwon. What's the highlight of the week?
Yeah, I think it has to be. Can I pick 2 or 1?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
the first one has to be PSG. Although it happened, I think, earlier today.
How are you not big PSG when you're a Real Madrid fan and he's probably coming to your club?
Well, today I'll tell you something. I don't want Mbappe to come to that team. If I need to be honest with you, because we know Mbappe is egoistic. He might come in and cause some lot of trouble, because he's this kind of player that wants to.
Was Ronaldo not egoistic?
Your brother.
Did he not play? He's not Real Madrid's greatest player. Was he not there for 9 years?
Let me point it out, because Mbappe is more. He wants to take control of everything. He wants to
You are describing Ronaldo.
No. I'm talking of Mbappe right now.
Your description fits Ronaldo.
But don't you think you need a player of that caliber since Benzema is
gone? Final whistle has finally come at the HBF Park in Perth, Australia. I've taken the win. Amelia Vansgaard with the only goal in the 91st minute to win that one for Denmark. So Jibola, go back to your thoughts. Juwon. I don't know. I always confuse Juwon and Jibola because they are J.
So what happens is that I think I'm not saying I like him as a player, but if he comes
of course you have to like him.
I have to. Yeah, he wants to take control of everything. And if Madrid should just give in, because according to what Yemi said earlier on, because PSG is a problem to Mbappe, and Mbappe is also a problem to PSG, both of them. I'm telling you, that's just how I see it. Because for me, leaving Mbappe out of that preseason squad to Japan is the biggest for me right now, and he is ready to see out that contract, and PSG doesn't want that. They want him to stay, and he wants to go for free next season. So for me, leaving him out, and it's just a bigger for me. And we hear that even Chelsea and the club in Saudi are maybe trying to, if they can actually beat Madrid to his signature. So
not going to happen. Don't worry.
The second one has to be Lionel Messi today. I mean, that was so a way to really quash the goal talk. I think it has almost.
I mean, the goal talk was already over before this. It's not an MLS. It's not one MLS League Cups game that will settle the goal. It is the World Cup that settled it. Not a free kick against Cruz as well.
It's been over.
Mbappe won that World Cup before Messi won it.
Mbappe was never in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah,
why is Mbappe?
You can't base that on winning the World Cup. Try to understand me, because Mbappe won.
Ronaldo is yet to win the World Cup, so that's a superior argument for the Lionel Messi fans.
Because what I'm saying is Mbappe won the World Cup before Messi. I understand, but you can't base that on because Messi has won the World Cup. You want to say he's the GOAT? For me,
It's not the GOAT
You are
only because he
looking
won the
for-
World
he's
Cup.
just looking for
He was
Messi's,
already in the GOAT
fans
conversation
club.
for his immense career. Mbappe does not have Messi's
Yeah,
career.
he just needed
So the
that
World
World
Cup
Cup
was
to
the
crown
crowning-
all. Yes, to
this
crown it
conversation
all.
will go a long way for me. For me, if you want to ask me, I'll say Ronaldo and Messi are just players of the same quality. I'm
How
telling
did we even get to this discussion? We're
Okay,
just
hold
talking
on,
about
hold
Mbappe.
on.
How did we
let
get
me
into the
continue right
okay?
now. Let's
The
continue right
Messi
now.
discussion anyway.
Okay, what happened for me? Yeah, it has to be Messi. You know, making that debut for Inter Miami. You know, he started on the bench, came in, I think, in the 53rd or 53rd minute. I mean, just getting. If it had ended in a goal, a 1-0 draw, it would have gone into a penalty shooter. But you know, scoring that free kick from that position, and David Beckham was seen crying. It has to be the biggest one for
For
me.
also the fact that Inter Miami were yet to win a game in about 6 games before this particular one. So starting your goats the goats discussion in the MLS with that fantastic strike from Lionel Messi, I think it's a good one. It's a very
Eyes
good
on
one for
Tunde.
him.
For me, it has to be the Mbappe.
Your highlights of the week,
Yeah, it
okay.
has to be Tunde.
So you don't want to choose Nigeria?
Okay, don't worry. Let Oduayo choose Nigeria, but
Honestly, I didn't see the game. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see it. But
Most of you didn't say
although
it.
I follow Oduayo's update, but kudos to the goalkeeper.
You followed it in the morning now.
Yes,
If you had been watching it,
Yes,
you'd have been
now.
following it along.
It has to be the
You have been
goalkeeper.
following it
for me
and
today.
watching it as well.
That was a very good performance.
all right, Oduayo,
So-
before we go on our first break, what's caught your eye this? We already know, but give us.
Okay, what
give
if I
us-
shock you?
Oh yeah, shock me.
The MPFL new board.
There's no way you can shock us. It has to be the Falcons.
Okay, I already
She
said
already
that.
chosen the MPFL.
The
but okay.
MPFL new board.
what
I won't
about-
choose that. I'm going to say two, and I won't choose that over Super Falcons anyway. You know, it was a game we're not really expecting much from, but like Remy rightly said, a lot of credit must go to the girls. After all the shenanigans leading to the World Cup, you expect the team to be in shambles and everything, but it looks like a united team. I saw earlier on where they posted, I guess they didn't post that video before the first game. Probably Nigerians would have lashed out at them the way they were singing with their entrance into the stadium before the first game and everything. I got to see that later on this morning. I think the team is united. They've put all of the shenanigans behind them,
Sure.
all of the NFF, the money issues and everything, except for the fact that Chiamaka Nnadozie was the captain on the day. And we are still waiting for explanation from Randy Wardle, because I felt that explanation he gave after the game is I don't really buy into that.
Yeah.
He said Nnadozie is very calm on the ball, she's composed and everything. No, every other player in that team has it, but there are a lot of senior players in that team which you probably expect them. I mean, if Onome Ebi is not playing, Ohale is a senior member of that team. Oshoala is also a senior member. There are loads of senior members that started that game, about 3 or 4 of them that could have led the team, but that boils down to what Randy Wardrum wants. I really don't know why he made her the captain of the day. But I must say it's one of my highlights of the week. Just knowing fully well that nobody expected us to get probably a point against. We're even expecting the whitewash before the first game. But the way Randy Wardrum set up his team that very day, I'm not a fan of Randy Wardrum in any way, but he surprised me. I was so surprised. He set up the team in a defensive manner, which was why Asisat Oshoala was not also in her best on that very day, but he actually did very well. Set them up in a way you cannot come out against the Canadian girls, but the setup was to soak up the pressure from the back and then see if you can catch them on the counter, and eventually it worked out, save for that penalty that was given away by Tunde's babe Odega that should not have started the game anyway, in my own opinion.
How did Francisca Odega become
Well,
today's
Francisca
babe?
Odega, most men in Nigeria actually like her. You know, she's that makeup, the hype woman around. She used to be the hype woman around the Super Falcons before this World Cup. Now we have
moved on to
we have-
Michelle Aliozie.
yes, now people have moved on. That's why I said she used to be. Now it's now Ashley Plumter. It's now Michelle Aliozie. There's Tony Payne. There are loads of girls that you can actually.
If I'm
look up
one
to.
is even my favorite.
The lanky one. She's actually beautiful and all. So it was just that was just my highlight of the week. And then the new MPFL board as well, the IMC, they are now going. It's no longer the IMC. It's now back to the LMC. They'll be there. There's another tenure for 2 years, but it will still be led by Benga Elegbele. So let's just see what they can offer in the new team. They already said it's not going to be an abridged version of the league. It's going to be a long the usual regular season. But we still await what they are planning to do in August. They said the league is going to start by August. We hope it's not tentative this time around. But in all of it was a good week generally, sporting wise, and then Messi capping it off today as well.
Sure.
Well, I don't feel any pity for PSG and Mbappe, so I don't really want to talk about it.
Before I share my own highlight of the week, which nobody has mentioned so far, and I like that so much. We are streaming on YouTube at Milan 98.3 FM. I can see comments here from Tobola, Funke, Sarah. Which of them is your first name? I'm very interested. Hello, Tunde Young. She says, any updates on Højlund? You are referring to Rasmus Højlund, the Atalanta striker, who has been linked to Manchester United. Still no updates. We hear that Atalanta are not budging on their 80 million euro request. That's how much they want on their player. That's the valuation they put on Rasmus Højlund, the Danish striker. So United might need to look elsewhere and focus on other targets. We have comments on Facebook as well. Oluwamuyiwa Olodude. I hope I didn't murder her name. Oluwamuyiwa Olodude.
Murder a man's name, but you didn't murder a lady's name earlier on. I mean, you were even looking for the one that was the first name.
It was a straightforward name.
Okay.
It says, keep up the good work. Super cool, very impressive. Thank you, we appreciate you. Adeniju Demes Said says, good afternoon, guys. Happy weekend. Please, where can you please help me with an app that I can stream live matches? I mean, just
keep searching.
Just search, don't worry. Search.
There are lots of them.
Seek and you shall find. Anyway, before we go on this break, let me give my own highlight of the week. It's not exactly an highlight. It's a low light for Nigerian sports. No, it's not. Don't worry. No. It's a low light for Nigerian sports.
Chelsea don't have any highlights.
But for me, the biggest story this week was Toby Amuson's.
Yeah, how did I miss that? It was because it was earlier on in the week. Yes.
I don't think there's a bigger story.
Yes. I think the Nigerian girls winning that, getting a draw against Canada just overshadowed what had happened earlier on in the week. Yes, that was a very good highlight of the. I mean, how do you miss your test 3 times and then you're saying I think she said there were too many tests or something. Of course, you are a world champion. You expect the focus to be on you, and you don't dodge such tests at this stage of your career. You are in the limelight already. The first one, we can give you an excuse. The second one, probably you probably missed it or you were busy. The third one, no. I really just hope that this is not what we think. We are yet to get over what we went through during the Blessing of Kagbare's issue, and now to Blabamo. So I really hope it is not what it is. This thing is not yet concluded. We are still waiting for the outcome.
The athlete herself has asked that her privacy be respected. At this time, she's challenging that the charge by AIU, that's the Athletic Integrity Unit, they alleged that Toby Amuso has a doping violation, which is. We spoke to Deji Ogeyinbo on Sports Cruise, myself, Lawali, and Okpemi Akinode, and he let us know that it's not as big a deal as it seems. It's a whereabouts issue and not an actual. She didn't fail a drug test. She didn't take a drug test.
She missed it.
She missed the drug test itself. So lots of people have been taking it as she failed the drug test. So you cannot say she's doping.
But can you remember this is what's the same way it started with Blessing Okagbare?
No, Blessing Okagbare was actually.
No, she missed it. At the end of the day, when it was later revealed, it was from missing your test and then.
But Toby Amuso has been tested after the 3rd test that she missed. She has been tested according to a statement that she put out, and she's a clean athlete.
Yes, there's been other tests as well.
So the claim was revealed by Amuso on her Instagram page. She released a statement that she's clean of the allegation and will fight everything so she can compete at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. She said, and I quote, "I intend to fight this charge and will have my case decided by a tribunal of three arbitrators before the start of next month's World Championships in Budapest." The Nigerian world record holder and world champion in women's 100 meters hurdles has declared that she's a clean athlete and has been regularly tested, maybe more than usual, by the AIU. She said, I was tested within days of my 3rd missed test. So that was a few days after she missed
3 days.
The test, she was tested again. And she was confirmed clean. But the fact that you already missed the test is a red flag. You can only miss 3 in a year, and she has already missed 3 in 6 months. So I mean, she says, I have faith that the case will be resolved in my favor, and I will be competing in the World Championships in August. The AIU was founded by the International Association of Athletics Federation, now World Athletics, in April 2017 to combat doping in the sport of athletics. The unit functions fully independently from the World Athletics governing body. Based on this, the AIU is responsible for creating the right frameworks for every athlete to succeed and completely clean. Amuson has allegedly been charged with whereabout failure, missing tests, and according to the AIU rulebook, this is what it means for an athlete. The AIU rulebook, I'm looking at it right now. Read some of the rules. It says you have failed to submit your whereabouts by the required deadline. It's a filling failure. Number 2, you have failed to update your whereabouts, or you have not updated them as soon as possible after a change of circumstances. Filing failure as well. So you have to inform. The tests are random and impromptu, but also they reach out to the athletes about a day before to upload your whereabouts, so they know where to find you, know where to.
Okay, which means the athletes, they are much more aware of
so
the
they are aware,
Barbie.
but like they don't know when exactly it's coming. So then within the day that you are contacted, when you upload your whereabouts and you let them know where you'll be at what time, then
they will inform you ahead.
So it's a complex process, but it's also a fair one. Now, number 3, you have filed your whereabouts on time, but they are incomplete or inaccurate or insufficient to enable us to locate you for testing. Training address missing, home address too vague, competition schedule missing or incomplete, no address of temporary accommodation during competition is regarded as a filing failure as well. The Athletics Integrity Unit finds out that your whereabouts are inaccurate or incomplete following an unsuccessful attempt to test you, e.g., an athlete lives in a gated complex and fails to give instructions to the security gate to let the doping control officer in. It's regarded a filing failure. And you have filed whereabouts information, but you are not available for a testing at the location corresponding to your 60-minute time slot. So when you tell them where you will be and the time, they give you, from that time that you told them, they give you 60 minutes, that's an hour, to meet them where you already told them that you'll be, by updating your whereabouts. So it's one of these violations that Tobi Amusan has been alleged of breaking. And she did not deny missing the third test. So that means it's true. But she's claiming that she has good reasons for missing it. That's the issue, and that she has been tested after to certify that she's clean. So she should not be punished for being a clean athlete. So maybe she's claiming that so we'll get to hear what her defense is later. I'm sure when she's ready.
Another reason why people are being so worried about it is that there's been no history of defaults in our regular checks before she became a world champion. That she's very, very regular in her routine checks.
Yeah, and she has been a world champion for a while now, and I'm sure she has been tested.
Even before then, they said there's been no history
so
of
even
missing any test. But how come this one? Well, we just hope that things will just turn out in our favor.
Yeah, wish Tobiloba Amusan the best, and hopefully she can get her name can be cleared of this mess by the AIU. We wish her the best. We are still streaming on YouTube as we prepare to go on the quick music break, catch our breath and recharge and give you the best in the world of sports. We have comments on YouTube. Caleb Ojuku says Messi is the GOAT, man. The guy is too good every single time, and he put a GOAT emoji right here. Rarest of the rare says people should not complicate this thing. I don't know what thing you are referring to, but I agree they should not complicate it.
Even though you don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's still Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. At this point, I'm here with Juwon. Not Jibola this time, it's Juwon.
Thank you.
Odun Ayoro. I've known Juwon for a while. I don't know why I keep calling him Jibola. It's because Jibola is also.
Yeah, because Jibola has been more consistent than Juwon in recent times. So
yeah, I mean, shots fired.
And for the China versus Denmark game, this is the Denmark's return after since 2007. They've not been at the World Cup, and China, funny enough, they've lost every of their opening game in the last 5 World Cup, but they eventually get to qualify from their group. So this is nothing. Let's hope it's nothing, because they're still going to play England, and they are still playing Haiti as well.
Yeah, and Haiti today proved that they are a very good team. They held their own against England.
They are not pushovers, and they are probably not going to be the weeping girls in that group.
Only lost by Georgia Stanway penalty in the 29 minutes, and they even had good chances themselves. So yeah, Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We have to go on a short music break, but by the time we return, we'll be diving into a lot more to talk about in the world of sports. Samuel Eto'o is in trouble. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Barcelona's new captains as well. Barcelona have 4 captains. Who are they? And what can we expect? We'll get into that. So David Silva, a great of the game, is set to retire. We'll give you the details on that, and we'll talk a lot of transfer updates. Some preseason action going on tonight as well. Arsenal United 10 p.m. tonight, and they're already saying there's nothing like friendly games. Eric Ten Hag does not want to hear anything friendly friendly. He's
when
a man of war.
Arsenal, Man U,
He's a man of war.
there's nothing about being friendly.
Ten Hag says I'm a war. I'm a Indaboski. I'm a liquid metal. Anyway, it's Saturday Sports Cruise. Let's go on this short break and we will return in a bit.
Clock the time. Rock the groove. It's music extravaganza, where the beat gets hotter. Mainland 98.3. Baby, let's go. The sound of Lagos.
No, it's been a rough couple months we apart and I miss you. Ooh, you got my right mind feeling one way, only your way. See a side report, I go run like a dog to you. Ooh, cause streets not true, so now your leash shine true. And if I feel confused, girl, I go lean on you. I tell the streets not true, and then go cheat on you. So if you get your you better guard your
Yeah, she want tag, feeling hot. Man, I feel float with the water inside of her. She feel like though anytime when she come to my place. She don't for anyone, no feel me. Linga long, stallion, make her feel dapper dapper. She always coming back to the commander. She knows it. Say me happy, even when she very far away. Yeah, my brother go and get your babe. Cause man them still they innocent.
No, it's been a rough couple months we apart and I miss you. Ooh, you got my right mind feeling one way, only your way. See a side report, I go run like a dog to you. Cause she's not true, so now your leash shine true. And if I feel confused, girl, I go lean on you. I tell the streets not true.
Breakfast on belly for me. Feels like love is not for me. Since you came my way, I don't change my mind. Now I'm feeling stupid all over again. And talks say you are driving me insane. But do I look like I care what the people say? Baby girl, I love you every day. Manita, I gotta run away from love. Oh no, I gotta run away from love. Oh no, I gotta answer them, say you want me. If you willing, girl, I'm ready to take you away now. Cause I want you so, baby. Empty my pockets for your matter, oh, baby. See, girl, I'm tempted, oh. Columbia body now waiting at the love, oh. Manija, I gotta run away from love. Oh, no. I gotta run away from love. Oh, no. I gotta run away from love. I gotta run away from love.
This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
My Lord, oh, self. Oh my God, success is all I want. Yes, indeed. Oh, my luck, oh. Tick bam bam, she belle my soul. Tick bam bam, she belle my tour. Then they pray make a ball and stagger, so I'm moving cloak and dagger. Might see me in a black bandana in a Lambo with Joey Zaza. Diamond teeth with a bottle full of rubber, no shirt looking like a dumb rubber. Since I started, they carry my matter, no be down, we could scatter my dada. Tick bam bam, she belle my soul. Tick bam bam, she belle my duro.
Them they pray we go fall and stagger. Are you mad? You know why them man call me Baba? To catch eye, you gon' need one bigger and a taller ladder. Just there dancing dagger. I'm outside chilling, ragga. What's all the higgy hagger? When I come with a yinky yanka, my jacket was shining like Bianca. Now them man there wish that they never done that. Now everybody Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, doing 8 mile when they hear the thunder. Make wake up, rise from your slumber. I ain't even green yet, man, I'm still on amber. Where you wanna see me fall down, see me under. Sometimes I gotta think hard and I ponder. They can't come close, come here, but they want to. Just stay far, stay there. 24 hours in enough for gangster. No sleep, now my eyes looking like a panda. You them man there really wanna passa. When we pull up, they gon' have to go and call for Jaja. Go call for Yala, you see me a maga. When your time has come, don't make it harder. Can't catch him today, we gon' see tomorrow. Only witness was Tia tomorrow.
Then they break a ball and stagger, so I'm moving cloak and dagger. Might see me in a black bandana in a Lambo with Joey Zaza. Diamond teeth with a bottle full of rubber, no shirt looking like a dumb rubber. Since I started, they carry my matter, no be down, we could scatter my dada. Then they break a ball and stagger, so I'm moving cloak and dagger. Might see me in a black bandana in a Lambo with Joey Zaza. Diamond teeth with a bottle full of rubber, no shirt looking like a dumb rubber. Since I started, they carry my matter, no be down, we could scatter my dada.
ọmọ yìí kò kakú ó fẹ́ lówó bíi Dangote onílà
láti jagun. Ìgbádùn ayé pọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìpọ́njú. Má bẹ̀rù rọ́jú. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Ọmọ náà wò lè wákú. Àbútí gbé bakú. No dey form say you jaju. Track to dey kaku. And the celestial handles my situation. All my pains and my troubles. Steady light in my candle. Chop my period, part of the struggle. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Sun's gonna shine on everything.
Yeah, I know it's a rainy day in Lagos, Nigeria today, but if you keep at what you're doing, the sun will shine on everything you do. Just a little motivation. I think James 5:16 says, the fervent, heartfelt prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So yeah, keep at what you're doing. Keywords fervent and heartfelt. Keywords fervent and heartfelt. So if you are passionate about what you do and you keep at it, you continue doing it, eventually there will be a way. Sun will shine. Don't worry, I know country is hard, but yeah, just a little motivation. Let's leave church and go back to the stadium or to the field right now. I talk all things sports. It's still Saturday Sports Cruise. No, it's not a religious program. I just felt the need to motivate. I really love that song, Sunshine by Achake. Maybe we should give it a spin one more time.
Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Ọmọ náà wò lè wákú. Àbútí gbé bakú. No dey form say you jaju. Track to dey kaku. And the celestial handles my situation. All my pains and my troubles. Steady light in my candle. Chop my period, part of the struggle. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Yeah, time check, 34 minutes past the hour of 3. It's still Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. I'm still Tunde Young, and I'm still here with Juwon and the delectable Ruth Odunwayo. So on that note, let's get back to sporting discussions. We are done with motivation and scripture now. Let's get back to sports and talk about Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o has been in the news, but never for good reasons. I don't think since he became the chairman of the president of the Cameroonian Football Federation, I don't think he has had any positive stories. And right now we hear that according to reports, Samuel Eto'o, the head of Cameroonian Football Federation, is under investigation for match fixing. Samuel Eto'o, the former Barcelona striker, former Real Madrid striker, former Mallorca striker, former Inter Milan striker, former Chelsea striker, former Everton striker, former he played for Sampdoria as well, played for Hansi Makachkala. He's well traveled, one of the greatest strikers of his generation, not one of the greatest African, one of the greatest simple of his generation. Is in trouble for match fixing. According to reports, recordings have surfaced in which Eto'o promised Valentine Gawain, president of Victoria United, that he would influence referees to promote the team. Samuel Eto'o. He gave his word to the president of Victoria United, stating that he will promote them to the second division by manipulating games. At the end of the season, Victoria United got promoted when the federation decided that Stade de Batua, the runner-up from the previous season, was ineligible. Eto'o's voice in the recording was. Yeah, it has been revealed that Samuel Eto'o's voice was heard in the recording. Samuel Eto'o was heard in the recording making a promise to the president of Victoria United. Eto'o, as reported by the Daily Mail, Eto'o said there are things we can do, but you have to be very discreet, brother. That's the voice of Samuel Eto'o as reported by the Daily Mail. I haven't even had time to get home yet. I'm out, bro. I haven't had time to get home and work with the president of the Cameroonian Referees Association, because I can't call the refs directly and tell them to be careful, but I can work with the president. Eto'o was reportedly heard saying, Opopo, Victoria United's nickname, must go up to the first division. This is our goal. This is our federation. Victoria United will go up. He said, and I quote, "Stay calm. We will grant you the 3 points and we will suspend the referee. But let me first get back to Cameroon." He arrived on the 3rd of January at night, so we will see you in the office on the 4th. Anyway, I'm going to rule out and disqualify this referee. Those are the words of Samuel Eto'o, according to the Daily Mail. Eto'o also spoke about how powerful the president of the Referee Association is by saying he has the power. From there, he with his commissions will be able to suspend even the president of the referees. Our club, Opopo, must go up to the first division. That is our objective. Samuel Eto'o caught red-handed in trouble. If the reports are true, and if the voice in the recording was truly his, this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back in Samuel Eto'o's administration. With the evidence of Eto'o's voice being heard in the recording, is now under investigation for match fixing in Cameroon. Juwon.
Yes, I mean, it's so pathetic for a player of Samuel Eto'o's caliber to get involved in this. But he has not said anything yet, Samuel Eto'o, because of this. I think this is a huge story. Getting involved in the match fixing and working hand in hand with some referees to promote a certain team. I'm not sure this one will end well if it happened to be. I mean. Very if he's guilty of this one,
because it's not just a player, he's also the president of the Cameroon Federation. So it's a big indictment on this person as well. I mean, it's just like Amaju Pinnick when he was still in charge of the NFF, telling someone probably in the NLO or in the NNL that don't worry, your team will get qualification to the MPFL. That's just the way it seems. And being a president of a football federation in your country, you don't go ahead and say such statements, even in the secret or even in the sacred, in the most sacred places. You don't go on to say that's a big allegation. And a player of like Juwon rightly said, a player of his caliber or an ex-player of his caliber, being a president of the Cameroon Federation as well, you should know better. I believe you should know better. You know what match fixing the outcome of it. You know what it can be. So I think I just hope it's not true. But
not true
listening to that voice, it actually sounds like Samuel Eto'o.
So what does this do for? Because we always clamor for ex-internationals to be in charge of football in Africa. We always say the politicians don't know what they're doing, and we want people that understand football to be there. And in terms of football in Africa, I don't think there's anybody that achieved more than Samuel Eto'o in world football. And look at what he's doing. Does it not give more points to the opposition to be able to say you were right to not involve the ex-footballers in the first place?
It tells you that you don't trust anyone these days when it comes to money. I mean, it will surely dent a very, very huge thing to his career. I mean, what he has achieved so far, playing for Barcelona, as you rightly said, Everton, is played in all the leagues. I mean, I just hope this is not true. If it happens to be true, I mean, it's just going to be very, very bad to his credentials.
And it's not just about him alone. Like Tunde said, we've been clamoring for ex-internationals that we need to put the square peg in square holes, round pegs in round holes. And it's even coming down to Nigeria. We can see that Kanu Nwankwo just took charge of Eyimba International as well. But when you hear things like that, then you begin to doubt in your mind that are they really the ones that we actually need for these jobs, or we should just allow those people with experience over the years to just continue. But you've played the game. I just believe a player of his caliber should know better. You already know what it means when you were playing, what it means to fix matches. But this is match fixing. It's match fixing at its peak. You already gave your word that this team is probably going to get promotion to the top flights, and eventually they did. I think this happened this year. It was just in January.
Yeah. And not only did they did not even do it by natural causes. They had to. The team that was in contention for the promotion with them was declared ineligible, and that's how the Victoria United got promoted. So everything is just suspicious, and everything around it. Everything lends to the credence that maybe in fact the allegations are true. But again, we would like to stress that at this point in time, these are just
still an allegation. But then there's been so many negative news around Samuel Eto'o in recent times, especially since he became the Cameroon president, Cameroon Federation Football Federation president. It's been so funny. There was him not. And his daughter and about not making some payments and everything, and now you just have to watch it. When you are a public figure, there are some things that should not be heard about you, and I think these are one of the things that I would not really like to see about ex-international. I mean, you are a public, you are like the number one football man in Cameroon as it stands.
Absolutely, yes.
Even as you are like the number one man. So this being all those allegations surrounding it doesn't really speak well of your person at all.
Yeah,
He was
so
also accused of trying to jeopardize the career of Onana. I mean, the story broke.
Yes, and another one was regards the story of Banana as well. So this negative, all this negative news around Samuel Eto'o, it doesn't. It's probably I just don't want to say this, that probably your true character is actually coming out after your, because it's not funny. You know, I've not heard of any positive story about Samuel Eto'o since they came on board.
Yeah, this came just about a week after we heard that an association of indigenous Cameroonian clubs, group of amateur clubs in Cameroon called for Samuel Eto'o to step down from his position because he had too many comma, let me put it that way, too many controversies surrounding him in terms of his reign as the president of Cameroonian Football Federation. The federation the association that's asking him to step down is ACFAC, the Cameroonian Amateurs Club Association. They voted 11-1 in favor of Eto'o stepping down just under 2 weeks ago, about a week ago. So several allegations laid before him. Eto'o has been instructed to step down from his position as FA president. They hit Eto'o with several allegations. Just 2 years. He's been Cameroon FA president for just 2 years. Within 2 years, he has been through a lot. He has already done so many things. He's been in the news for only negative reasons.
There's another one that said that he was suffocating the players in training, the Cameroonian players, and
he moved to extend the tenure of Cameroonian FA president to 7 years. That was like the first thing he did.
Yeah, that was the first thing he did when he came on board.
He came on, and
so you already know he's starting on the wrong foot.
Classic sign of a power drunk African. It's just like, according to the BBC, those allegations are as follows. The decision to extend the term of Fecafoot president from 4 to 7 years was deemed unconstitutional and anti-statutory by ACFAC. It's also emphasized that the new laws passed in August last year weren't published as they should have. ACFAC requested the intervention of the Cameroon sports minister and raised the prospect of requesting the same from former FIFA president Gianni Infantino. Aside from the first and second allegations, there are still other allegations which are brought forward by ACFAC. He also has an issue with a sports betting company. Eto'o is just in a lot, and we also said about a month ago his daughter sued him for not paying child support into the tune of 90,000 euros. So
just
anytime you hear the name Samuel Eto'o in the news, it is never anything.
Right reasons.
I don't think this will end well because it's always for the wrong reasons for this man Eto'o. I hope this is not true though. I hope it's not true.
It's looking likely, but it's still an allegation anyway.
Yeah, still an allegation. Anyway, let's move on from Samuel Eto'o to Samuel Eto'o's former club, FC Barcelona. With Busquets and Alba gone, Barcelona have revealed their new captains. Barcelona have 4 captains. The captains of FC Barcelona for the 2023-2024 campaign have been chosen, and they are Sergio Roberto, Marc ter Stegen, Ronaldo Araujo, and Frankie de Jong. In that order, they will get the captain albert for the season. So that means Sergio Roberto is the number 1 captain. When he's not on the pitch, Marc-Andre ter Stegen becomes the captain, and then if both Araujo and ter Stegen are not there, if both Roberto and ter Stegen are not there, Araujo becomes the captain, and then Frankie de Jong is the 4th captain. In that order, the players are on pre-season tour, and the players on the pre-season tour in Los Angeles cast their votes to choose their captains. Sergio Roberto, after serving the team for 2 seasons as his 3rd captain behind Lionel Messi's the 3rd captain since Lionel Messi's departure in 2021. Sergio Roberto is now the 1st captain. He has been the captain for a while, but he was the 3rd captain behind Messi and Busquets. And now that both of them are gone, he has been promoted to number 1. So Sergio Roberto now the number 1 captain of FC Barcelona. Sergio Busquets and Gerard Piqué served as the first 2 captains when Messi left. Sergio Roberto replaced Piqué as the team's 2nd captain for the remainder of the season in November. And now that Sergio Busquets has left, FC Barcelona number 20 rises to the top of the list. All 4 players were seen posing with the captain's armband. Ter Stegen was promoted to the 2nd captain thanks to this domino effect. Additionally, Ronald Araujo and Frankie de Jong assumed the 3rd and 4th positions as captains following the aforementioned departures. Sergio Busquets and Messi have been unveiled at Inter Miami, with Alba also joining the former captain. So the first question is this pattern of choosing 4 captains, is it good? Then secondly, we will not enter the people that they chose, did they deserve it? Let's not forget that the players themselves voted. So it was a decision made by the players to vote for their captain. But should any team be having 4 captains and all of them unveiled as captain 1, captain 2, captain 3, captain 4? I'll start with you, Juwon.
Well, Savi's idea of picking captain, I don't know how he come about doing this, but I mean, since the departure of
I mean, it's not particularly a Xavi thing. It's something that Barcelona do. They want have 4 captains. It's just their thing. They have 4 captains and you captain 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not exactly Xavi's decision.
Somebody has to come forward to be the captain. I mean, they've lost Busquets, Inter Miami, Gerard Piqué has gone, Jordi Alba has moved on. So for me, I think Sergio Roberto will be the captain. But for me, I don't think he's starting building that team is not starting. But I think the goalkeeper,
Ter Stegen
will surely start.
Have the captain band more.
Yeah, more absolutely than Sergio Roberto. But good for them.
I believe it's a unanimous decision, and if it's working well for them, why not? They can. There's a thing that they say that don't change you don't change a winning team or a winning mentality. If it's working for them, why not? Since Ter Stegen is going to start more games than Sergio Roberto, why not?
Sergio Roberto
and they're both senior members of the team.
Yeah, he's 31. Sergio Roberto is 31 years old. He played 33 games last season, 23 in the league, 33 in all competitions. The season before that, he played 12 games. Before that, he played 20 games. So it's not a super regular for Barcelona. So you expect that Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, the first choice goalkeeper, would most likely play every game. Would most likely have the captain armband for a lot, except when Sergio Roberto is on the
and
pitch.
Of course, he's loved by the fans as well. So.
And the interesting name there, I mean, Ronald Araujo being a young defender, but he's a leader on the pitch. Interesting name there for me is Frankie de Jong. I'm very surprised that Frankie de Jong is on the list of captains. Joined from Ajax in 2019. Yeah, joined from Ajax in 2019. It was 2019. And hasn't particularly hit the ground running at Barcelona, and there was the club were actively looking to sell him last summer.
Absolutely, I was going to point out.
And the player refused to leave, saying that they are owing him money and it's not going anywhere. So
probably those issues have been resolved, and there's a new life in the Barcelona team. You will not come back and tell what is going on in the dressing room, what the manager is saying in training, and of course in the dressing room as well. So I believe those are some of the attributes the coach sees before making him one of the captains. You just don't appoint captain for it.
I mean, it's not the coach that it was the teams that the players that voted. So
it was a unanimous decision. So
I am very surprised. I'm very surprised by the 26-year-old
for a player that had a lot of controversy around him last season. It's been resolved, I believe.
Due to the his departure issue, I mean, maybe a way to let him relax and play more.
So we'll see how that goes for FC Barcelona. Just interesting choice of captains right there. But yeah, at this juncture, feel free to join the conversation. Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Tunde Young. We have Juwon. We have Juwon in the building.
You thought you made a mistake again.
We have Juwon in the building. I know Juwon. This is not an issue. Just that I always confuse with Jibola. Maybe Jibola will join us as the show progresses as well. So that I'll stop making mistakes. At least if I make mistakes, Jibola, I'll say I was trying to call you. So we have Juwon is in the studio as well as Oduayo Rose. And I really also walked into the studio. I really, do you want to say hi before we move on?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're streaming on Mainland 98.3 FM, YouTube and Facebook. Feel free to join us. Drop your comments. Let us know you are enjoying what you're watching. And of course, if you can subscribe to the channel, that would be very, very nice. See Ayomid's nice face, 11-year-old face. See Juwon's senior man face. See Oduayo Roots beautiful, delectable face. And see me, my humble face. I'm right here today, August. Why is I really laughing? Feel free to join the conversation as well. We have number to call 0913 600 410. 0913 600 6000 410. Let me take that again. 0913 600 410. 0913 600 410. And if you want to send in a text message, 0913 600 430. Yeah, welcome. Still Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. Tune Young here. Feel free to join the conversation. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
This Kelvin calling from the quarter.
Say that again.
Kelvin calling from the quarter.
All right, Kelvin. Join the conversation.
Please, I just wanted to know whether has Jordan Henderson left Liverpool.
Yeah, from what we hear, Jordan Henderson has agreed a 700,000 per week deal with Al Ettifaq of Saudi Arabia.
What about Fabinho?
Huh? Firmino. Roberto Firmino has left Liverpool. Oh, Fabinho. Fabinho as well. We hear is that's still just reports though. We've not gotten any official confirmation yet, but we hear that Fabinho is on his way out of Liverpool as well, also to join a Saudi Arabian club. But I can tell you that Henderson is not. Fabinho also did not travel with the squad. Henderson traveled with the squad, but he has left after getting permission from Liverpool, and is going to soon be unveiled as an Al Ettifaq player. Jordan Henderson is going to be joining Steven Gerrard very soon. 700,000 per week. Would you have turned that down, Juwon?
No way. Situation of Nigeria right now.
As an African man, you never turn that down.
From playing for them.
Come on, man. I mean, he was earning about 180,000 per week as Liverpool captain. So I mean, for someone that is 35, is the captain of Liverpool, is not a poor man. So for a standard of living, would you, if you were in that situation, would you give up being the captain of Liverpool?
I'm going to say they find money. So this money matters. It has to be. I mean, that £700,000 a week. I mean, that's outrageous. You can't turn that kind of money down today.
And of course, it's in the latter stages of his career. So what do you expect? And he's won everything that he's there to win. So what else? It's time to cash in.
Okay, it seems like the house is in agreement that Jordan Henderson was right to cash in. He has won everything there is to win in Liverpool. Lots of people in England do not agree with that assertion. He's been receiving criticisms for his move. From one veteran midfielder to another, let us talk about David Silva, who we hear is on the brink of retirement. Nothing official yet, nothing confirmed, but we hear that David Silva has had one too many knee injuries and is now considering retirement. He's set to retire, in fact, not just considering. So I assume his retirement will be announced anytime soon. 4-time Premier League winner David Silva looks set to retire after suffering from a heartbreaking knee injury. The former Manchester City star was confirmed to have sustained an injury in training and underwent tests. A statement from the Spanish side read, and I quote, David Silva had to leave yesterday's training session due to discomfort in his left knee. In the imaging test performed, an anterior cruciate ligament injury was observed, and at this moment it is pending to be evaluated by a specialist, something that will take place next week. It appears that the injury is worse than first feared, and it could potentially bring an end to his career. He is not expected to play a role in the upcoming season. Meanwhile, it is reported that he will make an announcement on his retirement imminently. It is suggested that he feels he will not recover in time to make a return to the pitch. David Silva is now 37 years old and has spent the last 3 seasons in his homeland with Real Sociedad after bidding farewell to Manchester City. He played 125 games for Spain that represented Manchester City on 436 occasions, 436 games for Manchester City. He won 13 major trophies and before bringing an end to his stint as a Man City player in 2020, or was it 2019? It was 2020. Yeah, so he also won the World Cup and 2 European Championships during his time with the Spanish national team. The only thing missing from his trophy cabinet is the UEFA Champions League. So, on that note, Juwon Odunayo, is David Silva the greatest Spanish midfielder to play in the Premier League?
Arguably, you can still argue that, but
I'm not asking you to argue it. Is he yes or no? And if he's not, who is greater than him?
Maybe no one else I can think of right now. But for me, the story is
not even Cesc Fabregas.
No, not Fabregas. I don't think so. The recovery date for Silva, coming back from that injury, according to the report from the Sociedad, he will be 38 coming back from that injury. So
He's had an illustrious career. Apart
Yes,
from not
starting
winning the
from
UCL.
Valencia, moving to City and all that, he's had a very,
Won the
very
World Cup
explosive
as well.
career so far, the World Cup. So, yeah, it's. I think he's done it all. Coming back, I think it might be a very good decision for him to make. I mean, coming back at 38, to recover well. For me,
Should just call it quits.
call it quit and hang his boots and move on. Maybe go into coaching and anything he wants to go into.
Maybe football punditry.
Yeah,
maybe,
alright.
maybe these days it's,
So
yeah.
it's I don't know. Juwon, is it the rain that is wake up?
Does it sound as if he's asking?
Juwon is talking to me as if he's asking me out. Juwon, I'm not agreeing. I
This
will
big
not
man
agree.
talking.
I will not agree. Don't worry. You can save the toasting for those girls. Anyway,
The women's World Cup is going on now. So.
maybe it's you was trying to seduce. So Oduayo.
Oh really?
Yes. So go ahead. Your thoughts on David Silva.
I think he's had an illustrious career, like you already said.
Is he
he's
better
won
than
everything
Fabregas?
in the Premier League. I think so. What is what? If you look at it from the winning the trophies angle, I think it's done better. He's won trophies with Man City. Cesc Fabregas did not really win. I don't think there was any trophy Cesc Fabregas won at Arsenal. Probably an FA Cup. Then he left for Chelsea. Won the Premier League with Chelsea, of course, before he left for Barcelona. But we're talking about being better than Cesc Fabregas in the Premier League. I think I'll take David Silva over Fabregas in the Premier League. He's won more trophies and he's had more illustrious career. I'm trying to check their assist record in the Premier League. I think David Silva should be better than what Fabregas had at Arsenal and Chelsea combined. I think it should be better. Even his records in Manchester City alone, I think it's far better than what Fabregas had at Arsenal
Fabregas scored more goals and had more assists while playing fewer games
than David Silva. As I said, I've not checked. But for me, I think I'll still pick David Silva over Fabregas. He's had more illustrious career and he's won more trophies. The game is about trophies.
Actually, yes.
I mean, for me, I'll go Fabregas anytime, any day.
You're Chelsea
it's not about Chelsea. It's not about Chelsea. It's still Saturday Sports Cruise on
No, it depends on his preference. It might not be because of Chelsea.
Yeah, Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We are streaming live on Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM and the YouTube with the same name. I can see your comments. It says Andy Anongun. These names are just Andy Anongun says keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Babatunde Ayinde says I've been enjoying you guys. Sweet Yamigo, no, she's very much in the building. Just consider it a recess. On YouTube, we have comments from Rarest of the Rare. Rarest of the Rare says I agree with you. I agree with Tunde Young Ayo from Lekki. I don't know what you agree with me on, but I agree as well that I'm right. People should not complicate. People should not complicate this thing. I think I'm taking that already. He also just says Toby. So as I take the rest of his comments, let's go back to the phone lines. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome to Saturday Sports Schools on Mainland 98.3 FM. Name where you're calling from.
Bature calling from Oshodi.
Bature.
I greet you now this afternoon.
Great you, sir.
Today young.
Yeah, good afternoon, Bature.
I greet you. What of Okpe?
Okpe is not in today. Don't worry.
I could have asked him a question in person because some times ago the new bros that you guys that is the new, should I say employer, be the new bros
Olawale Adigo.
We asked him a question between the debate of a goat. I could not get answer from Okpe. I think he does that stuff. But that is like the way. Today, young.
Yeah.
Thank God that you said that is your preferred person is Fabregas. For me, this is my own opinion. Both of them are both good anyway. Both of them are actually on top of their game when it comes to that midfield. But David Silva is, I think, for me, he's ahead of Fabregas. That's what I will put it on. Then, Baba, there's some comment on the social media that the free kick that Lionel Messi scored yesterday, I mean, was it this morning, that it was scripted, it was some of an artist of.
Did you watch the free kick?
I don't know whether.
How do you script a free kick? It was from like 25 years.
He's saying there are some comments on social media. I also saw it as well. Some people trying to insinuate to the fact that the goalkeeper was aware and everything.
whenever I come across such all those comments, I feel as if you are that good enough, there's some certain things you will do, people will like. It's just like when you hear some comment that will say that World Cup, you was being somehow
Scripted for
position to favor the person and elsewhere. Baba, if you are good, you are good. That is just the truth. The truth is, Lionel Messi, I give up debate on Lionel Messi in terms of between the both and Ronaldo, where Stevie Keshi was still alive. I could remember that 2030, something of that nature. Stevie Keshi said that Lionel Messi is from another planet that is not on this earth, that he's in his career, even when he was playing, he has never met a human like that, talk less of when he's not coaching. So the truth is, whatever Messi does these days, people will say, nah, Reggie, we understand. I agree to now. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much for your thoughts, Baturi. And I do agree that Lionel Messi is, if not the outright greatest, is certainly one of the greatest to ever kick football. And he does not need an MLS goalkeeper to help him to achieve greatness. So he has scored I think about 60 free kicks in his professional career. So if he did not script the other ones, why would he script this one? So I definitely do share your sentiments. Back to YouTube comments. The rest of the rear continues to bombard us with messages. Keep them coming. It says, Samuel, what a disgrace. He just disgraced Africa. I'm assuming you're referring to Samuel Eto'o. Let's go back to the phone lines real quick. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. I don't know if that one is for us. But yeah, back to YouTube. It says, I want to join you guys. Ayomide, I want to be like him so I can join you guys and talk on football. Ayomide, you have fans.
Is that Ayomide's age mates?
Are you shy, Ayomide? Talk now.
He doesn't know what to say.
Also, you want to be like Ayomide is too stunned to talk right now. Yeah, but yeah, deal with it. You have fans at 11 years old. I know what were you doing at 11 years old? You want or not, do I?
Oh, don't you go first now?
Oh, now it's not ladies first. Well, at 11, I was in secondary school. I was still hoping to be.
What class? Let me see how fast education was. What class were you at 11?
At 11, I was in Jesto. I was in secondary school then. I was already in Jesto. I was still playing football at that point in time. I was hoping to be an assistant to Shola. Then it was perpetual unquacha. But then along the line, I stopped playing football. So you can see I was doing great things at 11.
Okay. Juwon, what were you doing at 11?
11 years. Can I remember? It school. I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, secondary school.
You are just asleep this afternoon. I see the way you are even saying 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm trying to remember right now. But it's been a long time. I've been through a lot today.
Sorry. As Juwon tries to remember what he was doing at 11 in the 60s, in the 1960s, 1970s.
He said in the 1960s. You agree?
No,
okay.
1960s. Come on.
At 11, same as Oduayo, so I was in JSS2. Was it JSS2 or JSS3? Because I got into secondary school at 9 years old. I remember my education.
Oh, you were that brilliant.
Was swift. I don't know if it's brilliant or they were just rushing me. Because I don't know Buko, please. Everybody stop me. Back to sporting discussions, please. Saturday Sports School.
And the most assists in the Premier League that you spoke about for Cesc Fabregas and David Silva. Yes, David Silva played 309 games with 106 assists, while Cesc Fabregas had 350 games with 118 assists.
All right. Thank you very much, Ruth Oduayo, for that. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Chiwendu.
Hi, Chiwendu. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Well, I have an issue that I want to speak about, but it's a personal issue that
All right, Chiwendu, we only take sports-related issues. Send your personal issues to text messages. I'm sure someone will get to you. That's 0913 6000 430 0913 600 430. Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We are still discussing sports. We've spoken about so much. Lionel Messi, Samuel Eto'o, FIFA Women's World Cup, Formula 1, David Silva. Should we do the MPFL thing now, or should we take another? Maybe on the hour on the hour we'll take another music break. And when we return, we'll go fully into MPFL and the Arsenal Manchester United discussion. 10 p.m. tonight in the United States. Arsenal Manchester United will play against one another. Afternoon in the United States, but it will be at night in Nigeria. And then Chelsea Brighton by 12 a.m. So immediately after that game. So
is there anything friendly about that one as well?
No, nobody shall mark Caicedo anyhow. That's all I have to say, please. So some YouTube comments again. So sad that Silva was one of the greatest. He's the greatest for me. I think Pele is better than Messi, says Rarest of the Rare. If you can praise Messi for one World Cup, Pele won 3, and I think that is it.
Did you see Pele play?
I mean, so
person that made that comment.
So maybe you stick to greatest of players that I watch instead of saying greatest of all time. Because if you want to say greatest of all time, there are people that have been greater.
Of course,
than Messi.
There are some people that still don't agree that Lionel Messi is the greatest. Especially people who are of elderly age, they believe they've been some other players. Some believe Diego Maradona, some believe Pele. So it depends on the generation you were. But in this our generation, we can see that it's probably the greatest. But I don't know about that person that made that comment. If you actually watched Pele play, that's why I said, did you watch Pele? Just speak about the one you watched.
I mean, we're back to present day conversation. Let's segue into transfers real quick. We understand that PSG consider Kylian Mbappe for sale starting from today. PSG feel Mbappe wants to leave for free in 2024. He did not communicate anything yet, despite Al Khelaifi's public statement. PSG decided to exclude Kylian from their Japan trip. So Kylian Mbappe is not traveling with the PSG team to pre-season, which indicates that he is going to leave the club this summer. We told you about Victor Boniface yesterday, being almost close to joining Bayer Leverkusen. We can tell you now that just an hour ago, Victor Boniface has passed his medical tests and is now set to sign as a Bayer Leverkusen player on a 5-year deal, worth 20 million and 7.5 million in add-ons. So huge deal. Official and confirmed Nigerians doing big things in the transfer window. Olaino has signed a 2-year deal plus 1-year option as a new Nottingham Forest player. Olaino, welcome back to the Premier League after representing Chelsea, Fulham, Hull City, and playing for Torino. Olaino is now a Nottingham Forest player. Yeah, on that note, we'll go on a short break. Still Saturday Sports Cruise on mainland 98.3 FM. We've had 2 hours down the line as we go into the final stretch of the show. From 2 to 5, we do this every Saturday. Myself, Tunde Young, the rest of the full house. Usually a full house, but today we are very compact. At least, do you like that we can? Do you like as all of us can see each other like this? Because normally the studio is full.
Especially last weekend.
We're stretching neck and jam packed studio. But yeah, this is a nice cozy atmosphere, especially with the rain that is falling outside. So yeah, let's go on that short break right now. And by the time we return, we'll be going into the final stretch of the show and discussing more things football, talking transfers and talking about pre-season tournaments as well. Don't go nowhere.
My name is Dolapo Martins. This is Mainland FM 98.3.
When I'm down, baby, boogie down. Just don't mind, you don't call me now. Okay now, got me now. Anywhere you go now. When I'm down, baby, boogie down. Just don't mind, you don't call me now. Say you go ginger out top, ginger out top. If I tell you anything, be go, say you no go talk, say you no go talk. Yeah, and I don't ginger out top, ginger out top. In a cabin, say you no go talk, say you no go talk. Ah, the choir, she must share my cup, baby, oh. She never will boom, in the she can boom. Ah, the choir, she must share my cup, baby, oh. She never will boom, she am a cat, the boom. In the power, you're my lose, lately, I've been on my toes, I'm working daily. Many friends, them day for daily. I'm ready for your love, Mrs. Jailer. I just want to conversate. Make I don't you hate me on the face. Don't they waste you any days. I guess I'm dedicated to you, baby, not case. The boy, yeah, she not getting why I'm mad. You quiet, she must share my cup, baby, oh. She never be boom, in the she can boom. Ah, you quiet, she must share my cup, baby, oh. She never be boom, in the she can boom.
Yeah, all the risky. If I'm one end, look into my soul and I go down on one end. Sometimes I'm natural, get it finesse. If you go in as a ball and then channel, only you go sell them love where I never knew. Naturally, anytime you're coming through, you put a ZM last, and I work a fast car, you're beating a face card. Chill, I there for you and I them too legit to quit. One me yanking and one now look like this. They go one and down on a can for heat. Pick up, cause I just want to conversate.
Don't you hate me on the face? Don't they waste you any days? I guess I'm dedicated to you, baby, not case. The boy, yeah, she not getting my own man. She must share my cup, baby, oh. She never be boom, think that she can boom. Ah, the choir, she must share my cup, baby, oh. She never be boom, think that she can boom.
Nicki Minaj, come give me love, give me your body, butter my bread, sugar my tea, give me your cocoa. Ain't nobody touching you, wanna try it, they blushing you. Everybody crushing you, but I'm wanting to marry you.
I know, carry another, you know say I be complete, man, yeah. Now you're matter, it's for my mind, inside, yeah. I'm your water, baby, give me something nice, yeah. Carry a matter, girl, I love your body, yeah.
Big baby, the woman so nice and her skin so clean. She got my love like a sweet sister. Over and over, she can do my thing. Yeah. She's so in love with me. It's a blessing that I found a queen, and she doesn't care if I'm poor or rich. I give her my love to eternity. Oh no no no, can I promise I will be there for you? Oh no no no, if you ever leave, I go hunting for you, my queen. Kiss you first thing in the morning, for me, baby, never treat you funny, oh.
Carry another, you know say I be complete, man, yeah. Now you're matter, it's for my mind, inside, yeah. I'm your water, baby, give me something nice, yeah. Carry a matter, girl, I love your body, yeah. Carry another, you know say I be complete, man, yeah. Now you're matter, it's for my mind, inside, yeah. I'm your water, baby, give me something nice, yeah. Carry a matter, girl, I love your body.
Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial. 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial.
Medua.
You know you give me vibe on vibe. Anytime you come online, I mean I know the. You know you give me vibe on vibe. Anytime you come online, I mean I know the. Poco down the top, Naira down the top. 70 you give me job. 70 you give me job. Poco down the top, Naira down the top. But I be watching like Predator. Oh baby, me go show fufu. Come for you, go dale. I swear me only show joro. I know go. I'll keep it to myself. I record music instead. Anything you want me, I go do. Let my body like tattoo. I go watch you like cartoon. Everything I talk, baby, not true. Our love no get part two. Everything not news. Yeah. Time you bust my brain too. I go die if I no chase you. Not to shake you, baby. I'm gonna not to shake you. This kind of love, not forever, no time up. And if I dare, now only me, I no carry more. Oh baby, me go show fufu. Come for you, go dale. I swear me only show joro. I know go. I'll keep it to myself. I record music instead. Let my body like tattoo. I go watch you like cartoon. Everything I talk, baby, not true. I wanna don't get back to. Everything not new.
Magic in the air, I love it in my all. Ale, feel the magic in the air, I love it in my all. Ale, feel the magic in the air.
Magic system, Red One, Shawty. Comme d'habitude on est calé. Comme toujours ça va aller. On te met l'ambiance à gogo.
Yeah, feel the magic in the air. We are still talking sports on Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We needed a quick break to catch our breath and refresh as we go into the final stretch of the show. There's a lot happening in the world of sports today. We've spoken about a lot already, but now let's pivot into the local league, the Nigeria Professional Football League, or the Nigeria Premier Football League, or the Nigeria Premier League, whatever name it goes by these days. I'm sure Ruth Odwai will be willing to enlighten us. So
it is still the MPFL.
Okay,
but the logo is MPL.
Different name, different logo. Fantastic. So, the PDA is it Premier or professional?
Professional.
Okay.
But the IMC actually changed it at some point to Nigeria Premier Football League. I don't know if that is going to stand under
Now that the IMC does not
yes, yes.
Alright,
They are
so-
yet to meet of any. There's yet to be any meeting of any sort since they were just appointed 2 days ago.
Yeah, so we know now that the IMC no longer exists and they have been replaced by a new governing body for league football in Nigeria. So, Ruth, you have the floor.
It's now going to be the Nigeria Football Federation has now constituted a new board for the Nigerian Premier Football League. Okay, it's no longer the Nigeria Professional Football League. Some persons used to say there's nothing professional about our league. Why are they adding the professional? So it's now the Nigeria Premier Football League with the former chairman of the Interim Management Committee, the IMC. That's just the concluded season. The IMC that just added the abridged version of the league not quite long. So he will still continue to be the chairman. Honorable Benga Elegbele as the chairman of the board. Elegbele is a former deputy chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Youth and Sports, and is also a former director general of the National Sport Commission. He headed the IMC brilliantly well to execute the NPFL season. Of course, the abridged version, and of course, later on the Super 6, which Enyimba emerged champions at the end of this. So he's still going to be the chairman of the new NPFL board alongside Malam in Enyimba. There's another ex-international at Avia Warriors as well.
Joseph Yobo being linked to Rivers United.
Joseph Yobo as well is being linked. It's not been confirmed. Yes, it's also being linked. I think it's a good one for them. We have always clamored for them to get involved in our local football. There was a time Kocha was also involved in the Delta State football, but even though they say when he was not that very active, at least he was involved at some point. So I think it's a good one for our ex-international. So Daniel Amakache will be on this board. He's a former assistant coach to in the national team. He was, I think, he was the assistant to Stephen Keshi when we won the Nations Cup. So he's bringing a lot of experience into the NPFL. I think it's a good one. Then there's Dr. Oke Maluku of Plateau United as well. He's also a member on that board. And there's a Malan Suleiman Umar and Mr. Dominic Ayofa. If you're very familiar with Nigeria football, you know who Dominic Ayofa is involved in Lobby Stars and Benue State football generally. So I think it's a board full of experience. It's a load of experience. We'll wait and see what they will be doing. They have been appointed for a 2-year tenure. So in the next 2 seasons of the Nigeria Premier Football League, I'm still trying to get used to that Premier because I've gotten used to Nigeria Professional Football League. Next season now they can come and say it's now Nigeria Premier League, but for now it still remains Nigeria Premier Football League. So those are the board members that will be heading us for the next 2 seasons. So they are yet to meet. We await them. Although there's been a tentative date for the NPFL to kickstart in the 3rd week in August. That's from the former IMC board. But now that there's a new NPFL board, we don't know what.
Yeah, but it's still pretty much the same set of people. I mean,
no.
Not
really, but the same head.
Yeah.
There's still Mr. Benga, Honorable Benga and Legbele that will still be there. So we look how it goes. But I think probably the date is still going to remain. But there's been a lot of tentative dates when it comes to the starting of the NPFL. But this season they said they want to align with other leagues. They want to align with European leagues, especially because of our team, of the teams that will be competing on the continent. So there's already preparation on ground for that one. So I just really hope that we'll kickstart the NPFL in the 3rd week of August. And there's another news coming from the local scene that Finidi George could be the one that will be leading the local players to the CHAN for the qualifiers. The qualifiers is supposed to start this July, but it's been postponed to September. So it's not yet official because the NFF are yet to announce it. But since he's also one of the assistants to Osip Peseru, I think it's a good one because since Salisu was fired, Salisu used to be the assistant to General. He was in charge of the CHAN tournament as well. The CHAN players, that's the players that are playing in the local leagues that will be going for their own African Cup of Nations. So it's looking like it that Finidi George, well, why not? He's won the NPFL. He spent 2 seasons already, and those are the things that we have been saying that our ex-internationals, they should not just sit back, they should get involved. And Finidi George has gotten involved. He's won the Nigeria Premier Football League in this 2022-2023 season. So I think handing over the CHAN national team to him, it won't be a bad idea in my own opinion. I think it's a good one. It's not yet official yet, but there are strong rumors that it's going to be announced in the coming week.
So let's see if that will pan out. But in terms of a tentative date, I don't know. It's 3rd of August. It's the 3rd week of August. Is it realistic? And this issue of we are always trying to align to European calendar. Now by force, that's part of what ruined our calendar so far. We know that we are a peculiar people.
For over 6 years, we have been trying to align, and we have failed to realign. We are still trying to align, but I think it helps the teams on the continent. They are actually considering those teams that are going on the continent. At least let them not just be they are not participating. They are not playing any active football. Probably they are just playing friendlies. They want the teams involved to be active before they play on the continent. You know, there's been many excuses that the teams give. I think there was a time Rivers United and Lobby Stars, when they were on the continent, they gave that excuse that because the Nigerian Football League was not ongoing at that point in time. So we don't want such excuses. I think I buy into that idea that we should align with other leagues in Europe. Let's kickstart it in August. If we cannot start in August, probably the first week of September. And I think it's realistic. There's nothing much to do apart from the club registration. There's been pre-season tournaments everywhere. Some of the teams have been resting, and then it will give the likes of Enyimba, Remo Stars, Bendel Insurance as well. It will give them at least get some weeks of football before you get involved in continental football. Then by then they will have no excuse for failing on the continent.
Anyway, except Juwan wants to chip in a couple things. I think I'm about done with Nigeria.
You don't want to react to Finidi George handling the Chan boys?
I have no interest in the Chan boys.
Oh really? We didn't qualify for the last one.
But so why should I be interested? the talent pipeline is not there. I mean, Finidi George, you expect that he will bring something unique, something interesting,
something different from what we've seen twice under Salisu Yusuf.
No doubt about that. I fully agree. But other than that, this Chan team has not excited in a while. In fact,
especially for Nigeria,
the last Chan team I would say that really got me excited and interested was maybe 2015.
The one under Stephen Keshi?
Yeah, was it? Yeah, okay. I think it was Stephen Keshi.
The Stephen Keshi's era was 2013-14.
I remember Ejike Ozuenyi.
Those were the teams that got to the final. It was funny enough, it was under Salisu Yusuf. Actually, he got us into the finals, but lost 4-1 in the finals. Yeah. So that's about the last one we had.
That comeback against Morocco, 3 goals down, and they came back to win 4-3. I remember where I was on that day watching that game. It was absolutely crazy. I could not believe what I was witnessing.
That's about the last good team we've had in the Chan tournament.
The Chan team does not excite. If you look at the current crop of players that we have in the NPFL, I would say Salisu Yusuf has underachieved because
I agree.
We have good players right now in the league. Even from just Bendel Insurance, look at what Remo Stars are doing. Of course, Enyimba.
Of course, there's the new bride of the NPFL as well, Sporting Lagos. Of course, now we saw during the Super 6 and then during the Super 8, there were lots of players.
There
even
are some
two of them, yes.
The goalkeeper as well, Christian Nwoke, was immense in the NNL Super 8 and then in the NPF in the Nigeria Super 8 as well.
Then they also have one left back like that. I can't remember his name right now. So they have exciting.
And their winger Kalu as well, in the fantastic winger. So lots of these players can be, potentially maybe revive Chan football in Nigeria.
And I'm particularly looking forward to what Finidi George is going to offer. There's been a lot of failures when it concerns the Chan national team, Nigeria Chan national team. From Imama Amak Makabo winning the league with Rangers in 2016, eventually took over with this former MFM coach. I'm trying to remember. Fidelis. Yes, those were wealth of experience of coaches that you expect them to do something. They didn't qualify. Salisu Yusuf as well came back, qualified once, got to the finals, and then he came back again. He couldn't qualify us last season. So last year, so this time around, luckily for us, they've shifted it from July till September. I believe the league would have started by then. Even if the league has not started by then, you have lots of players that you can pick from the NPFL, and we hope that with the wealth of experience that Finidi George already has in the NPFL, he spent 2 seasons already, and he's qualified back for the continent, he's won the NPFL. So I really hope that we can get it right in the Chan. It's not been a good one in recent times, so I hope with Finidi George we'll be able to get it right this time around. It's not been confirmed yet. I just said there are rumors, but there are strong
speculation that in fact, if Jose Pedro cannot continue or they cannot reach an agreement on the new contract, they might be Finidi George. And I know reliably that some of the players are actually interested in him as a coach, because they enjoy him as an assistant coach in the Super Eagles, and they've reached that anonymously. I cannot tell you which particular player, but
Finidi George is actually loved by many. He's actually loved by many. I spoke with some of the Enyimba players that I met during the the Nigeria Super 8. You know, they didn't qualify from the group they were. From the group A, we expected them to probably make it to the finals of the Nigeria Super 8, but because of there are so many issues surrounding Enyimba, the 18-month allowances, their salaries and everything. So I spoke with some of them. Like, they said they only came to that not Nigeria Super, the Super 6. They qualified for the Super 6. They said they played out their heart because they wanted Finidi George to win. That's how much love they've got for him. So any rumors surrounding him, I think I believe you. We're taking over from Jose Peseiro. He's a big one.
He's a big guy. This is just in the rumor mill. I'm just saying that he's been linked to the job. Of course, he's linked to you as an assistant coach. So it doesn't mean that they are going to employ him or whatever. But it's still sounding.
No, you can start with Chan. So
yeah, maybe. So Saturday Sports Schools on Mainland 98.3 FM. We are still streaming live on Facebook, Mainland 98.3 FM, and on YouTube, Mainland 98.3 FM. I can see some comments here on Facebook. Adeniji Udeme Said says, guys, I think Chelsea should go for Amrabat than wasting money on Caicedo. I know the deal would still go through, but I still prefer Amrabat. I mean, do you share that? Chelsea have been on Caicedo for 1 year now. Are you tired? When Chelsea first started to sign Caicedo, you were 10 years old. Now you are 11. Go on.
Who isn't tired? As much as this thing goes on, as much more money you spend. Amrabat is way more cheaper.
Yeah, about 40 million.
And Caicedo for 100 million. Brighton are getting lucky for this offer. Like,
you don't think it's worth it?
I actually don't think it's worth it.
The same way we felt Rice was not worth £100 million.
There are very few players that are worth £100 million.
The market is inflated.
But even in this current market, £100 million still feels like it's a bit too much for Caicedo. Especially when there are cheaper alternatives. You just need a defensive midfielder. Amrabat is available for 40 million. If you're willing
but you also want to consider the fact that Moses Caicedo has the Premier League experience and he could easily slot into what Chelsea are.
No doubt about that.
That's so many players have had Premier League experience and still flopped at Chelsea, so I don't think that's a big determinant. But yeah, I do agree with that. I think Chelsea should have, instead of, you can still spend 100 million, but don't do it on only Caicedo. You can sign Amrabat and sign a couple other midfielders as well, just for backup, just so in case this one does not work out. I think that's a more effective strategy than just signing Caicedo when the squad is thin. Chelsea have lost so many midfielders this summer already. Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, and lots of senior midfielders. Kante have all left within the last 6 months. So this is not the time to just sign.
No.
So when you spend that 100 million, they've sold Mount as well. When you spend that 100 million on only Caicedo, you will not sign any other midfielder. If you see only Caicedo and Enzo,
what did they sign for them?
Yeah, but
he's only behind Fabinho and this master player Rodri when it comes to recovery of ball.
Yeah, I agree. He's a good player. He's a fantastic player. No doubt about that.
It's because the market is really,
the market is crazy. I actually think Moses Caicedo is also worth about 60 to 70 million at most, not 100. But right now, the way
they even rejected 80. Apparently, Chelsea and they are holding out for 100. So anyway, we have more updates on that. I will bring one more comment here on Facebook. Sam the Poet says, "I must confess, I'm enjoying this show. I've been glued since 2. Thank you very much. Big ups to everyone in the studio. Tunde, the captain, and of course the amazing crew members. That is Juwon, Odunayo Ruth, and the lovely Ayomide.
And Sweet
not leaving out Sweet Yemi, who is still around. Speaking of Sweet Yemi, I can tell you that Lewis Hamilton is on pole.
Yeah.
In just 19 minutes ago, Lewis Hamilton surprised the entire world to gain his first pole position since 2021. The Mercedes driver put in a sensational lap to take the top spot in Budapest. Sweet Yemi is here. She will continue that conversation. But first, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome to Saturday Sports Schools on Mainland 98.3 FM.
I like to hear about Bayer Leverkusen transfer news.
Bayer Leverkusen transfer news?
Yes.
Are you a Leverkusen fan? That's a very...
No, I support Dortmund, but...
Oh, you support Dortmund?
I don't like
Alright, you support Dortmund. Tune in, join our live streams on YouTube and Facebook. See Juwon wearing a Dortmund jersey. For Bayer Leverkusen, I can tell you that Bayer Leverkusen are close to signing Nigerian striker, not an international, it's not playing for Super Eagles yet. Victor Boniface, 22 years old, scored 23 goals and 12 assists last season for Union Saint-Gilloise in the Belgian Pro League. They signed him for 20 million and 7.5 million extra in add-ons. Sweet Yemi is back with us, and when you see tweets or you see posts on Facebook and somebody says, "Oh, I fell to the ground. Oh, I rolled on the floor," you think that is a figurative. I was with Sweet Yemi when she found out that Lewis Hamilton finished on pole, and she literally fell on the ground 2 times. Twice. He fell on the ground, stood up, fell on the ground. The guy was even afraid.
Wow, where to even start from? Well, first of all, I'm very happy to say that my prediction for the person that will be on pole today was very wrong. I was very correct for the person that will start 20. That's going to be Logan Sargent. But I was pleasantly surprised because this is Lewis Hamilton's first pole since 2021, Abu Dhabi 2021. This is his 104 pole. He has the most poles in the F1 history, and now he just extended his pole record. And wow, it feels really good to see Lewis Hamilton on pole. I cannot describe the moment I find. I mean, I saw Verstappen on pole, Lewis Hamilton in second. So I was like, oh well, this is starting pitch is not a bad result. But then I refreshed my page and then I saw Lewis Hamilton on pole and I completely lost it. Sunday was there live and direct to watch it live.
Nobody could have explained.
Yes, he was there, and I honestly can't describe how it feels. It's a very, very. I mean, a poor position does not translate to winning the race, but it's a very, very good way to start. It's also credible. It also attests to your skills as a driver, because qualifying is within such a limited period, so you just have to extract the best from the car just to pull it over the line and finish in pole position. So great one for Lewis Hamilton, fantastic one for him, fantastic one for Mercedes. A bit of mixed feelings for Mercedes because their second driver George Russell will start from 16th tomorrow. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton will start on pole. Incredible. And this Lewis Hamilton's pole means that this is the first non-Red Bull driver on pole since Baku, and that was Charles Leclerc. It also means that it also stops Verstappen's record of 5. I mean, Verstappen had 5 consecutive poles. He would have had 6 consecutive poles today if he had been on pole, but Lewis Hamilton just ended it. So this year at the Hungaroring, there was a different qualifying format. Normally in qualifying you can go as you like and use any type of tires that you like, but for today's they changed it a little bit. For Q1 they used hard compound tires. For Q2 they used medium compound tires, and for Q1 for Q1 hard, for Q2 medium, and then for Q3 they used soft tires. And now let me just read out the results for the positions for the starting grid for tomorrow's race. We have Lewis Hamilton in his 104th pole starting at the front grid tomorrow. We have Max Verstappen. For the first time in 5 races, we'll be starting from second. Lando Norris starting third. Oscar Piastri starting fourth. I have to just add in a bit of tidbits here that McLaren have been very impressive since their upgrades. The last week at last time out at Silverstone, Lando Norris finished second. Oscar Piastri finished fourth. Very impressive for them. I'm curious to see how they'll perform tomorrow. But then in fourth, as I said, we have Oscar Piastri. Zhao Guanyu. This is also very, very impressive. Zhao Guanyu is out qualifying his teammates. He has been having a better season than Bottas so far, and then he's starting in P5. This is the highest position that Zhao has started in. So it's a very, very good day for Alfa Romeo. I'm very sure, because this is their best result in qualifying so far this season. We have Charles Leclerc in 6th, Valtteri Bottas in 7th, Fernando Alonso, who was the man that was all around in the news earlier on in the season, but has regressed a little bit to be starting from 6th tomorrow. Sergio Perez, for the first time in about 5 races, going to be made it to Q3. Finally, a lot of people were praying that he made it, that he will make it, and he made it to Q3, but unfortunately he's going to start from 9th tomorrow. Very disappointing, again, considering the fact that he's in a Red Bull car. Nico Hülkenberg, who came back from retirement this season, is going to start 10th. So very, very good results for us. I'm sure they are going to be very happy with that, considering the fact that they are ahead of a Ferrari. Carlos Sainz is going to start in 11th. Sainz and Leclerc have been having a very disappointing season so far, not on the level you expect Ferrari to be on, especially following last season where they were the best team on grid at the particular time. They regressed towards the latter end of the season, but they were still one of the best teams on the grid last season. But this season has been quite disappointing for them. In 12th, we start Esteban Ocon for Alpine, while Daniel Ricciardo on his F1 return will start in 13th tomorrow. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll will start 14th. Not a huge surprise there, to be honest. While even earlier on in the season, when Fernando Alonso was doing excellently well with his Aston Martin, Lance Stroll was not really performing up to standard. So now he's going to start in 14th tomorrow. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly starting behind his teammates in 15th tomorrow. We have Alex Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, George Russell, as I mentioned earlier, starting 16, 17, and 18 consecutively. Kevin Magnussen, out qualified by his teammates, is going to start in 19th. And one of the rookies, because I mean, the rookiest rookie. Logan Sargent starting in 20, as I accurately predicted. I just
as
knew
you wickedly predicted.
No wickedly, just
okay. Hamilton aside.
Yeah.
Which person's position is the most surprising?
I said that. I have to say Zhao Guanyu. I honestly have to say Zhao Guanyu. Obviously, George Russell starting in 18 is a very, very disappointing start. But for Zhao Guanyu, starting 5th, I think this is his highest stats in F1. I'm sure they are over the moon in that Alfa Romeo garage. So for some teams, you don't expect them to get all the wins or whatnot. But days like this, moments like this, getting this kind of result, even though it is just qualifying, but it's a very, very good one for him. So I'm sure it's over the moon. For me personally, it has to be Zhao Guanyu qualifying 5th for tomorrow's race.
All right, thank you very much, Sweet Yemi, for the updates. We had to give her some time to gather herself from the floor. But moving swiftly on as we go into the final stretch of the show, Manchester United versus Arsenal. Well, do you want to stay for that conversation? United Arsenal. Anyway, Ten Hag has placed a huge relevance to the clash against the Gunners. Today, July 22nd, by 10 p.m., United and Arsenal will face in the United States and in a preseason friendly game. But Eric Ten Hag has said no such thing. Eric Ten Hag does not want to hear anything friendly game. Arsenal and Manchester United are currently having a summer preseason preparation in the United States, with both sides having already played 2 games each. The upcoming preseason clash at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey could rekindle the rivalry both Premier League clubs had last season. So for Eric Ten Hag, he was asked about the game and what he thinks about how would they set up against Arsenal. And he said, and I quote, "We don't play friendly games. It's simple. Across our squad, we have more leaders. You need a team of leaders, team players, specialists, and motivational players. All of these areas you have to cover. I'm happy we have more than one leader. Bruno will wear the armband and he will get support from others." So, Ruth Odunayo, as the Arsenal fan, how does this make you feel when Eric Ten Hag says they are not interested in friendly games? Does that mean they will be, tackling us extra hard against Arsenal?
But it's still a friendly. No matter what it is, it's still a friendly game. It's not a cup competition. It's not the Premier League. So as far as we are concerned, it's still a friendly game. But if you go by the history and the rivalry that's been on over the years, right from Sir Alex Ferguson's stash of Arsene Wenger's era, you might likely say it's probably not a friendly. But as far as we are concerned, it's still a pre-season tournament, and whatever happens, it still remains a friendly. But we just want to see some few changes. Ten Hag has in its especially with Bruno Fernandes being the captain of the side. We want to see how the side will turn out in the new season. Of course, we've seen what Mikel Arteta has been able to do with the new signings of Rice, Havertz. We just 1 or 2 changes. We just want to see how the season will unfold. And Arsenal actually have a very good history in preseason. In recent times, in about 2-3 seasons, they don't get to lose their preseason game. So I think we'll have a very good game in our hands.
Yeah, let's take a call real quick. Good afternoon, welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, name and where you're calling from.
My name is Fawaz from Yanusash.
Alright, Fawaz, do you want to join the conversation?
Yes, what I want to talk about is that getting in with the Caicedo more than Ambavat. So the reason why I say that but Caicedo know how to play Premier League. But if Chelsea goes for Amrabat, so I don't think it's easy for Chelsea because Caicedo has been playing in Premier League very well. So and Caicedo know how to play defense midfield and they put him in midfield to know how to play. So our advantage is to go for Caicedo. So they pay the 100 million for Brighton.
All right. Thank you very much for your thoughts on Chelsea signing either Caicedo or Sofiane Amrabat. Good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Good afternoon to you, Tileon.
Greatness.
Champion greatness calling you from Agbara.
Treble winner from Agbara.
Yes, treble winner from Agbara. You don't give me ace as I will call my name like this. Greatness, treble winner calling you from Agbara. Yes. So please, I want to chip a little bit. I know, let me not develop you guys. I'm debating from what you are saying, but I want to kind of chip it to tell you how Pep Guardiola remains the best coach in the world. I just watched the press conference that he did when asking him, "Pep, are you expecting more players?" He made one comment. He said, "I'm not expecting players, but I'm expecting the best out of my players." It is not buying rice. When you buy rice, you don't have Maggi to cook it. You don't have salt to cook the rice. Yes. Then after you cook the rice, you might be eating raw rice.
But they have timber to cook it.
Yes.
They have timber to cook it.
Hey, you know if you cook it, you can cook food. It's not cooking food matters, but cook it how it will be. It will sound sweet. It will be sweet in tasteful in someone's mouth. Understand? You went and buy rice for 100 and something. You went and buy Enzo for 100 and something. All this is it. You are rushing to the market. Man said, to look at how brilliant this coach is. He said, it is not buying means. It is bringing best out of my players. What that man? Very soon now, you guys out there and everybody will be saying, this guy that you shout and say it's work there. Now you guys are not saying it's work there. But by the time that they have worked on that guy, bring the best of him.
Kovacic is a very good midfielder. Everybody acknowledges that. It's not Guardiola that will make him a very good.
I'm not saying it's worth best, but when Guardiola or when you undergo training under Guardiola now, you will see the best of that guy. I love the comment, and I'm so fortified now with my team. I don't want any signing. We're not trouble for signing. We're not trouble. It's not. I ate raw food last week. They cook one rice. It was not sweet. Because the ingredient was not the name was not this thing. So that is
what's your own with Arsenal's rice? So why not just face your team?
But great test. Man City almost signed Declan Rice. Do you know that Man City wanted Declan Rice as well? What would you have done if City signed Rice?
We do not want to. Now media, they want Arsenal. We throw Arsenal inside when we let them down. We do not want Declan Rice. Where is he going to play? So that's it.
All right, thank you very much, Greatness, for your thoughts. Ever funny. Good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from?
I live in Chinedu from Ogun.
Hi, okay, Chinedu, join the conversation.
Okay, I don't know. I keep saying this many times I call. This not doing you. We are not fan. Take your own medicine. Use your medicine. You're not bad player. Even if you say you're not bad player, you're coming to the last night play right. Let's go with our right. People to our right. Before we bought right, we have already bought tomato. We have already bought everything you need.
You already have the ingredients.
We have pepper, we have tomato, we have everything that we need. So we should face his business. I don't know what to do. How are you? I'm not giving him from the beginning of season. All this is not play. It's very trouble. Like the new season, he's not my champion. He's not my traveling now.
Okay, so once the new season starts, everybody return to factory setting.
Yes, so I'm concerning the Super Falcons. I was really surprised by their piece of the match that they played against Canada. I think I know what it is.
Yeah, it was an impressive performance. Thank you very much, Chinedu. Hello, welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Chiwendu.
All right, Chiwendu.
I'm calling from Ikotu.
All right, Chiwendu from Ikotu. Do you want to join the conversation?
Yes, so there's an issue that I want to make a thought of.
If it's sports related, go ahead. If not, send the text message. Like we said earlier, send the text message to 0913-600-430, and your concerns will be addressed. Still Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM as we continue to talk about what to expect from Arsenal versus United tonight. Even though it is just a friendly, we'll be taking more of your calls. Good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise.
Hello. Good afternoon today.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Benjamin from Ega.
Okay, Benjamin.
That this time last year, Britain had no phone or he had no card to call.
I mean, you can't control when he calls.
I don't understand.
He's a trouble winner, just respect him.
Allow him to make mouth. If your own team wants trouble to you, for not let us hear what now.
Battery reset will happen. Reducing the people. Come on, this guy is there. No argument. From where do you want to bring the argument from the goal, the start, the structure, everything is there. So Mason has to just go to that one corner. He's not playing needed.
No, Okpa is not in today.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Thank you for calling in. Hello. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good afternoon. My name is Gani, calling from Mapoloko.
Your name is?
Gani from Mapoloko.
All right. Join the conversation. Sorry, your line is bad. Maybe you can call back and get your thoughts across. The number to call is 0913-6000410. You are still streaming on Facebook and YouTube as well at Mainland 98.3 FM. On Facebook, Sam the Poet says Yemi knows her way around Formula One. It was so impressive how she breezed through all that information. Wow, with 3 exclamation marks. Yes, she's our in-house Formula One expert. We always say bench deep goal like Manchester City. Everybody knows their stuff on the show. Down all the way down to 11-year-old Amide. Do you want to flex on them a little bit? I just like messing with you, man. Anyway, let's go to some transfer discussion on the show right about now. The Calvin Bassey is set to leave Ajax to join Fulham in the Premier League. The Premier League contingent, the Nigerian contingent in the Premier League continues to grow. Calvin Bassey, Ajax manager staying on Bassey, said, "I told Calvin Bassey it would be better to leave Ajax. Also because of the money. When he leaves, you can strengthen the squad properly. I told him this honestly," he said. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise.
Fawaz is calling back.
All right, Fawaz, I hope your line is clear now.
Please, I want to ask you some questions. What is the difference between MotoGP and Formula One?
All right.
MotoGP and Formula One.
Yeah, MotoGP is bikes, bikes, Okada, and Formula One is cars, moto.
Okay, I want to ask the last question. What of Fofana? That's Fofana. The Chelsea board.
Yeah, Chelsea. They've loaned him out to Union Berlin in Germany. David Datro Fofana, the Ivorian striker, Chelsea signed him from Malmo. They've loaned him out this summer to Union Berlin. So he will play the next season there in Germany in the German Bundesliga.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for your inquiry, Fawaz. Keep your calls coming through to 0913-6000410. Back to transfer news. Calvin Bassey has been pursuing for Ajax, according to the coach. He told him leave so that we can use the money to buy good players. That's essentially what he said.
He's not had the best of time at Ajax.
Yeah, only one season, but it's not gone as well. Do you think Fulham will be better for him?
Of course, the Premier League, of course, and we are glad it's not signing for a relegated side. It's still a Fulham that finished strongly last season, and of course they could make a statement in the coming season. I think it will be a good one for him. It should be a starter any day, anytime.
All right, let's see how that goes. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from?
Already in the evening.
Wale from Ayabo.
Wale, talk to us now.
Hello?
Yeah, Wale, I can hear you.
Please, how many players have Manchester United have signed?
For now, just Mason Mount and Andre Onana.
I can't hear you.
For now, they've only signed Mason Mount and Andre Onana.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Wale, thank you for your inquiry. Only concerned about Manchester United signings. Speaking of signings, Noah Okafor is a Nigerian name, but it's a Switzerland international. He has left Salzburg and he signed for AC Milan on a 5-year deal. So big moves happening in the transfer window right now. Noah Okafor has joined AC Milan. Speaking of AC Milan, Samuel Chukwueze has agreed terms with AC Milan, €20 million deal, and he will be an AC Milan player if all goes according to plan. So is that a good move for Samuel Chukwueze from Villarreal, where he had a very good season, to AC Milan? First of all, is that even an upward move?
It's a step up to whatever Villarreal is going to be offering. I mean, AC Milan, they're going to be playing in the Champions League next season, so I think it's a step up for him. And then,
do you want?
Absolutely, an upgrade for him. Good move for me. Good move.
But yeah.
But is it going to be a starter in that AC Milan?
I mean, AC Milan, they are weak on the right side. The left side they have Rafael Leao, and let's not forget Brahim Diaz has gone back to Real Madrid, so it's so there's also that space to be filled as well. But on the right side they are quite weak. Their starters are Junior Messias and Alexis Salamancas. Both of them were disappointing last season.
I think maybe because of Champions League exposure, he wants to play in the Champions League. The reason why he had to make that move for me.
And of course, it's had its best season at Villarreal already, so I think it's actually the best time to move. When you're having your best season, you never can tell what will happen in the next season. Now he's had one of his best season in the Villarreal shirt, so why not the move?
I agree with the move. I agree with him leaving. I just don't agree with where he moved to. As a player that has also been linked with moves to the Premier League.
Oh, would you have preferred him in the Premier League? There's been a lot of
wrong moves. He was linked to
Everton.
He was linked to I think Nottingham Forest, maybe not Nottingham Forest. Don't go to Nottingham Forest. But for me, I'll say Everton over AC Milan, despite Champions League football. I think he will get more stability at Everton, get more eyeballs, and be able to showcase himself better. But speaking of, we're talking about Caicedo, still Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland at 8.3 FM this evening as we wrap up on the show. Brighton coach Roberto De Zerbi said Caicedo stays with us until the owner changes his mind. No idea what can happen in the future, but if Moises leaves, we have to find the right player. We have to substitute him with a great player because this year we play in the Europa League, unlike Chelsea. So the Brighton coach is taking shots at Chelsea. Let me read that part. He said we have to substitute him with a great player because this year we play in the Europa League, unlike Chelsea. Brighton manager Roberto De Zerbi taking shots at Chelsea before they face each other.
That shot doesn't work for me. I mean, Chelsea, just forget the fact that they had a woeful
but they didn't ask him about Chelsea.
They didn't even ask him. He just wanted to take a swipe at Chelsea because, of course, Chelsea are obviously in the forefront of signing Moses Caicedo. But you can always leave Europa League football next season, just for next season. You never can tell what will happen to Chelsea, and you never know you never can tell what will happen to Brighton next season as well. You have not even started playing in the Europa League. You're already throwing jabs at Chelsea. I mean, the most successful club in the last 10-15 years in England. You're already throwing jabs at them. I mean, Chelsea are bigger than Brighton.
I hope Chelsea teaches them a lesson.
By getting
pre-season. Beat them very well tonight. 12 a.m. In the United States, Chelsea and Brighton will go toe to toe, and also after beating them, now sign Caicedo the next morning. It will be fantastic. But we have comments on YouTube. First of all, Alekon says good one for Nigerian players reacting to Olaino joining Nottingham Forest. Samuel Chukwueze on the brink of joining AC Milan. Victor Boniface on the brink of joining Bayer Leverkusen. Calvin Bassey set to join Fulham as well. Nigerian players on the move, which leads me to ask what is happening to our relegated ones. Aribo, Onuachu, Kelechi Iheanacho, Wilfred Ndidi. These players seem like they are too good to be playing in the championship. Let's take this call, and before I take the thoughts of Odunayo Roots on that one. Welcome to Mainland FM, Saturday Sports Cruise. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening, everyone in the studio. My name is Joja Omotosho.
Good evening, Joja.
When you just said something now that players, Wilfred and Iheanacho are too good to play in the Champions League.
Paul Onuachu as well.
They are too good. I said they are too good to play in the English Championship. That's the second division of England.
That's what. How good are they?
I mean, better than the second division.
They are not better than the second division.
That's based on what?
I don't see. Tell me what these two players have added to our national team in the last 1 year. If not for
Iheanacho is the second highest scoring active player in the Super Eagles. Iheanacho is the second highest active player.
When was the last time he scored for the Eagles? Are you telling me locally we can't get somebody who will replace Wilfred Ndidi in the national team?
But he still has a place in the national team, as bad as it was for Leicester season last season.
He doesn't have a place. He doesn't have a place because some of the senior colleagues are hyping there. That is why they are getting called up every now and then. We have better players locally that can display these people.
Well, the local players should prove themselves with at least qualifying for the Chart tournament. That's the least they can do.
Because we don't give them a level playing ground.
But they play Chart tournaments. Do they qualify?
What other level playing ground do you want for them when they cannot even qualify for the Chart tournament?
They don't give them time to play that like the way they give to the foreign ones. That's just it. What is in the playing? What is Iheanacho playing? Iheanacho we know just after the under 17 or maybe a few months after the under 17. It's different for Iheanacho we have now.
in the national team. So stop hyping them.
All right.
Not better than player that will play in the Champions League.
All
Have
right.
a nice day.
Yeah, thank you very much, Duro Jaye, for your thoughts. You're very aggressive.
Guys, really frustrating.
Hello. Good evening again. This is Greatness.
Good evening, Greatness.
See, let's tell ourselves the truth. I watched Super 6 and I watched this Super 8. No? I could not single one player that played half of Iheanacho, or half player that plays like Ndidi, or guy that can play like where is this going to Milan?
Paul Onocho. Okay.
It's Sama Chukwueze.
Saka Sam Chukwueze. Let's tell ourselves the truth now.
I agree with you, Greatness. Our best players play abroad.
You know, this Super 8 I watch.
Players abroad to local base players.
How can you compare these guys abroad with local league here?
No.
That even though, how many times they have given the local league a chance? So they don't go play one chance. They go to play chicken follow, where they follow, ball go, boom. You know, see, just so that they don't compare them. Wish him well, let him go at AC Milan and shine. You know, so that's what we want by Nigeria players to do. See, I'm not happy that Nigeria is not doing fine. I wish Nigeria team could be like a Moroccan team. See, I can remember during 1997 how Nigeria play well, that we won the Olympics. Understand? The love that I have for Nigeria, if Nigeria lose like this, even cool, hardly eat food. I'm not feeling happy. But now Nigeria, I don't even bother going to Western. That time I could go extra man after I walk like 15 kilometers to go and watch only Nigeria football and come back. Just to go and watch them. You understand my point? So, but now, I can't even walk 10 kilometers. Even in my house, if I'm seeing that I will tune another station. You understand? So let's wish him, let him go in AC Milan. I said, well, that's what you want.
All right, thank you very much, Greatness, for your thoughts. Good evening. Welcome to Saturday Sports Schools on Mainland 98.3 FM. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening, everybody in the studio.
Good evening.
Thank you very much, guys. Please, let me just is there any another player that Mourinho have signed?
For Roma, so far, I would have to confirm that for you, but so far, so good. I think Roma have only made 2 signings so far. Before the end of the show, I'll let you know.
But please, is it Kenina? Is he still going to Roma or staying in England?
Who?
Okay.
Who are you asking about?
I think he's not there anymore.
Okay,
I heard something about Kelechi.
I've not heard Kelechi being linked with Roma so far, but I can tell you that Roma have signed 3 players actually. Evan Ndika as a free agent, 23-year-old, has joined Roma, and Rasmus Christensen on loan from Leeds United, who just relegated from the Premier League. So yes, those are the signings for Roma so far. So moving on away from Roma as we prepare to wrap up on the show. Some transfer news.
Duro Jaye that was saying the last time Iheanacho scored. Iheanacho was actually our last goal scorer in the
winning goal against Sierra Leone.
Well, you cannot compare the local based players to some of these players. Come on, we know that Kelechi Iheanacho even actually had a good season eventually. Even though Leicester City got relegated, he was still one of their best players. It was Ndidi that was not really in the best of form. Of course, we know after his injury, he's not been that same Ndidi that we have always known. But you know, those players can always have a blip in their career. You never can tell what will happen the next season. And of course, the guy from the Southampton, I believe that one made a wrong move. He was the highest goal scorer coming from where? Paul Onuachu from Belgium.
You know what?
To the Premier League.
The impressive thing about Paul Onuachu is he scored 15 goals for Belgium for Genk in Belgium before leaving. As the season finished, he left in January. Season finished, he was still the 5th highest goal scorer.
Imagine if he had stayed behind, he would have scored more.
These
are top players.
He needed to explore what it.
But probably he made the wrong move to a wrong team.
Maybe it was
Southampton was already struggling at that point in January. They were about to be relegated already, but probably believed he could add something different.
To be fair to Duro Jaye, they are good players in the NBFL, and they have the potential to even be better if they perhaps better get to play in Europe. Who knows?
Don't like the position Duro Jaye is putting in. You said the level playing ground. They've given them the level playing ground. They have failed.
Yeah,
severally.
Anyway, let's take a few more calls. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise.
They've never been given. I remember a particular
I think I can remember his name. Under Genetro, you invited a highest goal scorer of our league to the national team.
That was Junior Lokosa. Was it Junior Lokosa?
You now play him
out of
in
position.
a wrong position. Do that to walk up. So don't tell me they give them. Ruth will know Ifeanyi. Will you compare Ifeanyi with Wilfred Ndidi?
Ifeanyi of today, where is he?
Oh, where is he?
All right, thank you very much, Roger. We'll continue this conversation. We'll continue on Monday. No vex. We don't get time. Yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise. Hello. Yeah, sorry. Well, that was supposed to be our final caller, but it's not in the mood. So let us take messages before we leave the studio. Jagwedia Benjamin says this one, all EPL clubs are playing themselves in the US. Hope it will not be like that female-friendly match. I don't know what you're talking about, but I've seen your message. Man U will flog us now tonight. Says Rarest of the Rare on YouTube. He says, but I trust United match will be interesting. Festus Olalekon says, please, what happened to MFM team? Yes, they've been disbanded. They dissolved. I don't think MFF football club
follow their MFM basketball team instead.
Yeah, the football club does not exist anymore. The rest of the rest said, read our messages now. Tunde Young, keep up the good work. I've read your message, and that is the final thing I will be doing on the show today. It's been an interesting 3 hours with the gang. Myself, Tunde Young, Oduayo Rus, Juwon, and Ayomide. Not leaving out Sweet Yemi, who gave us updates on Formula One. But we have to go. All good things must come to an end. Final parting shot, guys.
Nothing really. Just wish Arsenal the best against Manchester United. Of course, the Super Falcons on Thursday. They'll be playing the Australian national team. Wish them all the best as well.
Yeah, 10 p.m. tonight, Arsenal United. We'll watch that. And immediately after that, Chelsea Brighton about 12 a.m. as well. My name is Tunde Young. It's been fun doing this with you guys. Saturday Sports Cruise. Make for no loss follows next with Eric. The next time you hear the sports desk voice will be on Monday. Sports update with Nonso Odogu. Thank you very much and have a nice weekend.